anything's new with it. And this is the old model. This
That's a
isn't
500
even.
gig still.
Yeah, 500 gig. You got Nintendo Switch, Mario Kart 8 bundle for 249. But it looks like the old Switch. I don't think.
249.
Yeah, on Walmart. I'm looking at it right now. Walmart
Really?
says.
Nintendo's official announcement was 299 for the Mario Kart 8 bundle.
I
So it
wonder
must
if
be a
it's the.
Walmart Black Friday, probably like the Black Friday, actual Black Friday day.
Could
So
be. I see. Zelda Echoes of Wisdom is 44.99.
that's
Pikmin
probably
3
a
is 30.
Walmart specific thing, I'm guessing.
Damn, they got Tears of the Kingdom for $30. That's
What's up, T?
crazy. And Mario
We live all,
Odyssey.
by the way.
AT. Oh, they got the OLED model for. Oh, here he is. The OLED Mario Kart bundle is 300.
Yeah, that has to be a
So
Mar. That has to be a. Is that Walmart?
yeah, those both.
Yeah.
So the OLED version is 299, but the normal version is 249.
Can you
That's
like
how
buy
they.
that right now? Or is that just listed for their Black Friday sale?
Well, I have Walmart Plus, so I could probably buy it now.
That's
Technically.
that's definitely better than the advertised Nintendo official pricing, which was the standard price of the console with Mario Kart 8.
Okay, the Series X one I see is 489.98, but it comes with an extra controller.
That's not bad.
So it's not bad. I mean, you get
You
two
don't really need
controllers.
two controllers. I mean,
I mean, yeah,
but
you ain't doing couch co-op with no freaking X5.
just any system these days. I mean, really, except the Switch.
Yeah, but that one definitely isn't it. Let's see. Oh, there's another. God, that's an unnecessary PlayStation bundle. PS5 Slim Disc PS5 with Call of Duty Black Ops. And what else is that? That's freaking. It's like a bunch of accessories. It looks like. Oh, a bunch of skins. Okay, yeah, I think I've.
In-game skins.
No, like skins for the console.
Oh, really?
It,
Like,
yeah, it's like 629. I don't really think that's really worth it.
that
It's a
reminds me of the
lot.
old EB Games GameStop forcing you to pre-order. You had to buy 3 games and an extra controller with the GameCube in order to pre-order. That shit.
Oh,
That's
really?
yeah. That was. I mean, literally, that was the only pre-order. There wasn't a pre-order just the console. You had to pre-order it with 3 games and an extra controller. And then when I went to pick it up, it was just a generic third-party controller. I said, "What the hell? You didn't? It didn't say it was Mad Cats or whatever." And they're like, "Oh man, yeah, sorry about that. They gave me an official one for the same price." So I don't know if anybody else complained, but I was like, I've never owned a third-party controller in my life. I said, I'm not taking this. And he's like, "Oh, we'll give you one of the official ones." I was like, "All right, I'll take it."
Okay, I do see a PS4, I mean PS5 Pro bundle, but it's not really a deal. It's essentially the PS5 Pro plus an extra controller for $800. So I don't really count that as a deal. All right, I'm going to Best Buy. While oh, and then they got the Slim consoles. They have the
So
Slim
the extra
consoles.
controller for no extra price? Did you say was it 7.99 or 8?
Yeah, it's 799.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that
That's
ain't.
why I wouldn't call it a deal. They
Mm-mm.
got the. They do have the Slim consoles. The digital version is 374, and the physical is the 424. So
That's for this version for the Slim.
yeah,
I mean, that's the lowest it's ever been.
yeah. I must say that's not bad at all. Now I'm going to Best Buy. Just to
Remember the
see.
days like where just it was just Black Friday. It was just from the morning until like 6 p.m. or whatever, and it was just nuts. But
I,
that's where the deals were. There wasn't all
I think
this build
I
up.
think they I think they cut that out because people started dying, and
Yeah, it was
I became
ridiculous.
it became a hazard of some sort. We
Damn, I
went off.
laughed at people started dying. That's messed up.
I don't know if that was
I
actually
just
true.
realized that was pretty
No,
bad.
people did. People were. I mean, people
No,
were.
people,
People got trampled. Like that
yeah,
was a
people getting
that was a
trampled and
real
shit.
thing. I remember that. Best Buy seems to have the same bundles for the most part for Nintendo, Xbox. Well, actually, I'm lying. Nintendo's is cheaper. It's 274.99 for the OLED Mario Kart bundle.
How much?
274.99
Damn.
for the Nintendo Switch OLED
Even
Mario Kart
just the
bundle.
OLED by itself for that price,
But
that's
but
a
but
great
here's
deal.
the thing. On mine's at least it says in store only. So I imagine somebody's getting hurt. if anyone cares. It's only the Nintendo Switch ones that are in store. Like the Xbox ones you can do now, the PlayStation ones you can do now. It's only and then damn, the normal Mario Kart 8 bundles $224.99.
That's like the
I
base
mean, that's the
console.
first time they've like. I mean, Nintendo's official didn't say those prices, but if Best Buy and Walmart are doing, competing for low price, I mean, that's definitely the lowest you could ever.
That is,
You've
I
ever
think
been
that's
able to get a brand new Switch
Wait,
console.
what's the light? Is the light even cheaper?
That's really
I
like
don't even
$100 if they even
I
have
don't
it.
even
Dude,
see.
if it's the
I
best,
haven't
I'm
seen.
getting one.
I haven't seen the light yet between Walmart and I'm currently going through Best
Really?
Buy. I haven't seen the light yet
Maybe
show
just
up.
look it up. Maybe. Oh, well, is it like a specific thing you're clicking?
Well, I'm clicking like Black Friday and specifically clicking video games. That's how I'm doing.
You talking about though? Because I see it says $225 for Target for Nintendo.
Oh, I haven't gone on
Switch.
Target yet. I've been.
I would say if somebody's got
that's
like an
the low
original
point.
Switch, I mean, even though the Switch 2 come around in the near future, but that OLED, I mean, even with
for
even if you already have Mario
$274,
Kart
that's
8,
pretty good.
it's still worth it. Just
Yeah, that's
if
a
you plan on
pretty
playing
cheap
on
price.
Switch for at least for the next couple of years, I would recommend it.
Amen. Yeah,
Decide.
$274. I don't see a single discount for the light though. That makes no sense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was about to say I haven't seen anything for the light.
That's
Nintendo's
annoying.
trying to clear
It
out
was like
out stock, baby,
150?
for that March release of the Switch 2.
Do you still think it's March?
No, I didn't think it was. I haven't thought it's March in years
I
probably.
think it's April.
This is April.
And I'll tell you why. Because that sounds weird to some people, but a long time ago, there was a console called the Ultra 64 that was supposed to launch in April of 95 or whatever it was. So April is not, it sounds crazy to us, but Nintendo,
And it's the
as we
start
all
of a
know,
fiscal
do what they
year,
wanna do.
so they could end the
Exactly.
fiscal year with the Switch 1 and
That makes it. I
start the
can-
fiscal
Exactly.
year strong with
As,
Switch 2.
Wesley Snipes said in Demolition Man,
Damn you.
Exactamundo.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
It's just
God
weird that the
damn.
Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition's coming out March 20th. So it's like that to me kind of. It could be the last hurrah. Could be like a cross-gen. Hey, the Switch 2. Here's what it.
Did they
Switch
drop the
2
price of the
benefits.
light?
No, it's still same full price. I see the Zelda one everywhere I go. It's like, man,
Yeah, I don't even see.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
shit
I mean,
should
eventually
be.
you won't see that.
It should be
that's why I was like, should I
$149
just
at the
keep it,
highest.
buy it, keep it sealed, and put it away?
Yeah. It's
You know
just
what
one
else
of
I
those
don't
things where
see,
you see it a lot, and then one
The
day.
Zelda
you
one's
just
gone
never
already?
see it.
No, I see them everywhere I go. Like I
Oh,
seen
okay,
them
I was gonna
yesterday.
say.
You know what other console I don't see any deals for? That PlayStation Portal, man. I thought Sony.
Well, they just up.
Hey,
They just.
hey, I was gonna say they
I
made
know.
it more
That's
valuable.
why I said it. That's why I said it.
I
knew
honestly
it.
don't. I still don't. I honestly don't quite get the whole people like, oh, there's more value. What's like? It's just another version of remote play, right? I mean, you just don't.
Yeah,
have to
but it
turn
wasn't doing that before.
Yeah,
There's a
it's
problem with it
essentially.
before.
Do you still need your PS5 to be running for it to
You
work?
don't need your PS5 at all.
because it's essentially it's like cloud gaming. Essentially.
Before you needed your PS5 for everything. Now you don't need it at all. You can, and not only that, you can just have a PS, whatever the account is. What is it called?
PSN.
PS Plus,
Mhm.
PSN, PS Plus. You can have one of those counts and just play right through that shit. You don't even need a console at all.
So you don't need a PS5.
But what
you don't
game-
need a PS5 at all.
start
Is it
up,
only the
like,
games-
initial?
No,
You don't need a
can-
PS5 at all.
Yeah,
But isn't
you
it the
can
only
now use
games
it.
on their streaming?
Yeah, only the games that are on their streaming though. Or
Oh,
yeah.
that's right.
I think they're gonna add like
People forget they have the streaming, guys. Come on, man.
games that you actually purchase as well are supposed to be
I do see the PlayStation
digitally
VR.
only though.
I do see the PlayStation VR 2s on sale for $349, which is pretty good considering the thing
That's a
came
big
out.
sale. I mean, price wise.
$550. That's whew.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a
a
drop.
lot. That's $200, man.
But can you blame them? Of course. What else they gonna do?
That's
Ain't
that'd
selling
almost
that.
get me to
Yeah, you know,
consider
you're
trying
right.
it.
I might want to get one just to play on the PC with it.
I'm surprised you didn't already have one, man.
What? Wait, so you would play? You say you want to get a Portal to play on the PC with it?
No.
I'm talking about
We're
the
talking about the
VR.
PSVR 2.
Well,
VR
I'm looking
two.
at. I'm
No,
looking
Catch
at
up,
the
young
Portal.
man. Catch
No,
up.
don't do that.
I'm still looking at the Portal. I'm trying to see, and then I saw some news about Sony's reportedly working on on a handheld.
On a handheld, yeah, I heard that too.
That makes no. So why add this feature to the portal? I feel like the portal should.
No, but according to
Or
this,
maybe
that
they're
it's
getting
like-
ready.
No,
Yeah.
no, but according to this, is like years away from launch.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
just like
so
the,
the-
just
so
like
we're
the
just
Xbox
in, like-
one.
So we're just, people are. I think people are more mad about the Xbox One because it's like, bro, what? Like at this point,
What is there to
with
be
all
mad
the-
about?
I think people.
If anything,
I
I'm
think
mad
people.
that it ain't out
I think
yet,
people want.
or
I think people want it. That's what I'm saying.
mad that it ain't out within a year instead of years away. What the fuck? How you years away? What are y'all doing?
Yeah,
Well, I didn't,
I mean, this one at least, the Sony one, it says that the company could still decide against bringing it to market. The people said, which
Man,
by
that's
the way,
see, that's that bullshit right there. You heard that?
exactly, yeah.
That's the oh, let's cover our asses
Yeah.
in case this,
Yep.
this rumor is bullshit. I mean, come on,
Exactly.
man. They're
Well,
either
it-
making
it's
this shit or
come
they're not
out.
making it. Get that shit out of here.
Exactly.
The problem with them
exactly.
making a handle at this point is what are we? What's the goal here? Like, I want to see if we're gonna, because
Well,
obviously,
it would
The
Well, here's my
future
thing.
is take your shit everywhere. That's
well,
the
no,
future.
but here's my
So-
question: do you think it would be like a Switch transition where they would just wouldn't have any more
No.
PlayStation?
Oh no.
consoles? So
No.
we'll see.
It's
Then
gonna-
here's my problem. That means that it's gonna be essentially kind of a Wii U 3DS situation where you have a home console. Or
It's
what?
gonna be more of an Xbox Series S situation where the games
Oh,
won't
I
play.
see.
Yeah, you can all the shit you buy in your main console, you'll be able to play on that. It just with lesser, frame rate and resolution. You know?
that sounds very expensive if they're making it native, especially if
Oh
it's
yeah,
like
it's going to be expensive. Both of these,
a
is,
PS, like a
How much-
PS6. You know
What,
what I mean? Like
I mean, a
it's not for
Steam Deck
PS5.
is the base Steam Deck is $349, $350, and they just dropped that bitch $350.
Yeah,
so
they just dropped it.
if you making something that can run a PS5 game, or I mean, at that point,
I think
if
it's
years
PS6,
away.
man.
Wouldn't it be
Yeah.
PS6?
It would be.
or
Mhm.
yeah, about
like-
that. I think it depends.
so
if you-
how much that bitch gonna cost?
Yeah.
That bitch gonna be 700 at the low end. That bitch gonna be 700.
So it's gonna be a VR chip
Super low
situation
end.
where it costs more than the actual console does.
hmm
See,
Yeah.
at that point, why? Like, I don't understand why they think that people would want to pay for that though. Like,
Hey,
who
I
fuck-
mean, you might get a little niche.
Hey,
Maybe a little niche of
I-
people.
I-
a
bought
niche of
fucking-
people spending $800 for a console,
Yeah,
a
people do
handheld.
it.
Man, you're looking
Excuse me,
at
hello?
T,
Two of these bitches.
okay, first off, T that's a little bit different. Okay,
$700 with both of them
T
bitches.
is not the standard. We've been through this,
No,
right?
right.
No,
This
not
is not
really.
for everybody. You got to get
Yeah.
that shit out of your head. Everything isn't for everybody. Some things are for people, some things aren't, This is for a niche crowd who would like to take their shit everywhere. That is convenient for them. I love to do that. That's one of my favorite things.
Is
That's
it-
why currently I barely play my Xbox because I play Xbox on my fucking Legion Go.
Hey man, I
You
saw
know,
that.
I
Listen, I
barely
saw
turn this shit on.
I saw the commercial. I already know everything's an Xbox.
Everything's an Xbox, my friend.
Everything.
Did you see that
So
random tech? What's his name? The guy who repairs. He bought a lot of the Asus ROG Ally and the
ROG Ally, yeah.
Legion Goes, and the Legion Goes. They just one had the controller thing ripped out. The other ones were working, and somehow people just returned them. And
people don't know how to do anything, bro. I'm so surprised.
one
I'm
he had
supposed to be
one he
the
had to
dinosaur.
reinstall. It took him 2 tries to reinstall Windows, and it was like a super long process. But he got it. Eventually, got it.
Mhm.
He thought the SSDs were removed, and there it was still in there. And it's just like, how did this person end up with this he thought it was a broken. He thought he bought a lot of broken portable PCs, and they were just need Windows and reinstalled. And the other one, and I didn't agree with his fix, was JB Weld. I would have bought new metal thread inserts that were bigger that could reattach. But either way, that's all. It wasn't much to them. And it was just interesting to see what people return as like broken. That was just seemed to work perfect. So I don't know. But that was sidetrack. Sorry.
I was just saying I'm eternally surprised by how much shit people don't know. I'm pretty tech savvy, I guess, but like I didn't grow up with this shit. I had to learn this shit as it came out. And like kids who grew up with this stuff, they don't know how to do nothing, man. they don't know how to do any of this stuff. And I'm like, wow, what are they teaching you guys in school? I was asking my son. He's like, what he knows about computers is so little. I'm like, how? How is that a thing?
Yeah, you would think. Growing up with them that it'd be watching people put them together, build PCs on YouTube and stuff. Like, there's so much information out there. It is crazy,
Yeah, everything's right at your fingertips.
Some people won't even try something like to
won't even try
it. But it's funny we're talking about handhelds so much because literally this morning, because yesterday family was over, and my nephew, he's like, man, I don't know where my Switch is. He's 20 years old. He's moved in with some friends into like a, I don't know exactly where they're living, somewhere where they left a TV and couch, so they're renting a place. He's like, man, I kind of want to play Smash Bros. I don't know. I got to track down my Switch. And I was like, how do you not know where your damn Switch is? But so I was like, oh, I grabbed mine and I was showing him the OLED model. He didn't really seem to be too interested in that, but I was thinking about it. And then your video to you about the Nintendo already gave up on home consoles. And I'm just like, you know what? No one ever talks about it. I think I brought it up. I mean, we brought it up a few times. Like, the jump from the frickin' 3DS to the Switch, like, that might be one of the biggest jumps ever in graphics. But
the Switch is not a home console.
If you took at Smash for 3DS versus Smash Ultimate on the Switch OLED, it's like, true. But Nintendo was purposely, I say purposely, mostly to keep the cost really cheap. They were way behind. Their handhelds were way behind what was possible.
Yeah, they were always,
and
PSP.
And even the 3DS, what was the 3DS launch price? $300 or $350?
$249.
$249.
$250.
Yeah, I think they just really were just trying to keep the price down for their handhelds, so it was way behind, like multiple generations behind.
But the problem is, it was the same price as the Vita, and people were like, and they had no damn games, so it was like the shit wasn't selling, so they had no choice but to drop that biz down to $179, I think, within like 6 months.
Oh God, Muhammad's back.
To us ambassadors.
Muhammad's back talking shit.
I'm trying to understand what he's talking about. I have no idea.
Mr. Xbox is talking about Nintendo's year for like, yeah, they don't have the big third-party games, but I mean they've had games this year. Yeah, a couple ports and remasters, but they had.
We just had a game a couple weeks ago.
Mario and Luigi, Echoes of Wisdom.
Echoes of Wisdom and Mario Party.
Mario Party, Princess Peach.
On Xbox.
Why we acting like, why we
as a person who has Game Pass, we got one game on fucking Xbox in, what was that, May? Hellblade?
Yeah.
And then nothing until recently.
Stalker 2 just came out, right?
Come on. Right. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's why he's here. There's a new game out. But anyway.
What are you talking about?
I was just like,
he talking because he got his second game this year.
Switch's 2 killer have to be Skyrim. Yeah, right. The Switch 2's lineup's gonna be
Call of Duty.
The Switch 2's lineup is gonna be so freaking ridiculous. Probably like maybe not the launch lineup, but like the first year, it's gonna rival the Switch 1, I think, if not surpass it.
That's gonna be a.
So, but anyway, I was just like,
you think it's gonna surpass it? Holy shit!
I think it could.
That's a hard claim. I don't know.
That's tough.
If we get 70% of the way, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a 3D Mario game. You got Metroid Prime 4. You got potentially the next Mario Kart game.
I'm not counting Prime 4. That's a Switch game, but okay.
Could be cross-gen like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. I mean, it literally is because it's backwards compatible. So.
But we counted Breath of the Wild. Obviously, that was the big one.
I gotta count.
Yeah, but that game never came.
Okay, all right. So here's the thing.
And Monolith's next game. Well, I don't know. Was Xenoblade Chronicles X? Maybe they wouldn't.
Yeah, X is the one thing that messes me up on that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
unless they're working on an RPG, action game with the woman.
Yeah. Anyway.
The woman.
Yeah, the Battle Princess game or whatever it's supposed to be.
Yeah, whatever that is.
It still just blows my mind that like almost no one talks about the leap from the 3DS to the Switch as far as just like I know everyone's like, oh, I can't believe I'm playing
this. Because the Switch is not a handheld juice.
Yeah, but the Nintendo conversation is very like well, we're comparing the Switch to the Wii U. We're not worrying about the 3DS. And I'm like, I mean, that's a little unfair, but okay.
I mean, it is a hybrid. Yes, we all understand it's a hybrid, but it is a handheld first.
It was their next handheld. Yeah, it was their next handheld after the 3DS. I mean, probably their.
You gotta compare it to me. You gotta compare it to both, man. You know, at that
And
point.
it's a
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
it's
a
a
hybrid.
leap over the
Yeah,
Wii U as well.
The problem is people didn't. It's weird because the 3DS was the more successful between that and the Wii U.
way more successful.
And people compare it more to the Wii U than the 3DS.
But just playing Smash yesterday on that
That is
and
crazy.
Echoes of Wisdom, you know, on the OLED Switch, it's like, my God, like this is so far, like it's
Yeah.
almost like a 3-generational gap between the 3DS and the Switch to me. Like, it's huge.
It probably. I mean, it probably is a like if you think about it, like it is pretty much like a 3-generational gap.
I mean,
That's
it's
crazy. I didn't. You know, it's funny because I don't even think about it that way, to be honest. But it is true. Yeah. I mean, it's.
I
that
mean,
is
on the
insane.
little screen, those games like Luigi's Mansion 2 look good and stuff. But when you really think, if you played a 3DS on the 7-inch
Oh yeah.
comparable screen, it would be even
Well,
more.
look,
Well, we already have that,
I've
don't we?
been playing-
When Luigi
you
Mansion
know,
2
I've been playing
remake.
3DS
that's
games on the
right.
70-inch,
Yeah.
right? I've been playing I played Pokemon Sun and Moon and Paper Mario on the 70-inch screen in Triforce Heroes. So it's like it is a night and day difference when you see that in a Switch game.
I mean, the
It is-
3DS on the 3DS screen looked comparable to, like, in between GameCube and Wii. I always felt,
Yeah, I would say. Yeah.
but that's on the little
Mhm.
screen. Everything looks better on a small screen. You know, like it's just
Well,
crazy. Literally this
that's
morning, I was just
because-
thinking that this morning for no reason.
I emulate them, and they look pretty good when you blow them up. 3DS games, so
I haven't
think
seen a
they're-
3DS
they're
game
very close.
on a large screen. I
Oh, really?
played a couple Game Boy Advance games on like my computer monitor. I was like, whoa, you know, they don't look quite as good with the blown up, but you know, not terrible. But on the Game Boy Advance SP, you know, they look pretty good back in the day. They look pretty sharp. But either way, I just thought it was crazy. We talked about handhelds to start the podcast, and I was just literally this morning, like getting ready for work, just thinking of that randomly, like, oh man.
It's like, damn.
But I'm glad you made that video, T. I meant to comment, but I was like cooking dinner or something when I had it on, and I was like, man, I remember arguing about this with some fellas back in the day about the Switch. First and foremost was a hand. They had to design it as a handheld first. I mean, there's just no there's no argument. I mean, almost everything about it had to be
It has to
designed
work as a handheld.
as a
first.
handheld. Like they didn't go, hey, let's take this thing on this TV. All right, now that's our main focus. All
Let's
right, now
shrink it
let's
down.
figure out how to make it work in a portable system. Now it was the other
That's
way around.
backwards.
And there's, I mean, it wasn't an I mean, I think people
I
took
know
it
it's
as
not an insult, but people take that shit as an insult for some reason.
I
Yeah,
mean-
but I think it's because to me it's like I don't see it as I don't even see it as either first. I view it as what it is a hybrid. In the end of the day, they were talking about the replacement for Wii U was NX.
Is
you
this
know,
a
and-
handheld?
Yeah.
Can I play this bitch on my TV? And get the
Come on.
fuck out of
I
here
mean,
with
they
all that
put some,
bullshit.
they put
No,
some,
no,
they
no.
put some
This is a
energy.
hand- This is a handheld first. This is a handheld first, yes?
I get it,
Yes.
but
I'm not
in
gonna run
the
that bitch out to my TV and it look better than
Yeah.
better than Switch games. So
Nintendo themselves. Well, that doesn't matter. But
I mean, they marketed it as that. Obviously, the hybrid was part of their strategy. But if I mean,
okay, here's the question. I think I asked this in my video. Would the Switch be as popular if it was a standalone, just sit on your desk console?
No.
Would it be
No.
nearly as popular? Hell no.
which
no.
Well,
Well,
there you go.
what
But
would
that's
have
what I'm saying is that it's both. Is that I don't consider it as one is first and one is first. You know what I mean? I just
But here's the thing.
it's been
If-
advertised as a hybrid.
Let's put it like that. Let's put it like this. If the Switch was only a handheld, would it be popular?
yes.
Hell yes, it would be.
I mean,
If
not
it
like
was only
this.
a console, would it be?
If they
less
said
popular?
no,
It would sell 80 million instead of 140 or whatever it's at right now. Because we know that's what Nintendo can do with handhelds.
what if they didn't put a
Yeah,
dock in
last
the
one
box,
was
but you
70 something. What
could?
if this one did 60 something?
So
Ah, come on.
not arguing
BS.
that there's
I'm not being serious. The 3DS did 70 something, right? So that's half of the DS. So what if this one did half of? You know what I mean? Like what? We don't really know.
We're
the
not gonna do
trajectory.
that. We're not
Well,
gonna do
no,
that.
we ain't doing that.
No,
We ain't doing that.
Here's the
We ain't
point,
doing
though.
that.
Here's
We ain't
my
doing that.
main
What's the
point.
history? No, seriously, what's the
It's called math. It's called math. Add up the handheld units and divide them by how many there are, and that's your average.
Right
Tell me
around-
what that is.
It's got to be close
Well, I
to
don't know.
80, 90.
Yeah, but
80, 90 million.
Yeah, it's
Come
gonna
on,
be
that's
80,
what-
90 million.
We
So-
also can't just say the average in general because again, we're looking at history
It's-
and
What
We're
if
speculating.
what if there was a
History
way?
says Nintendo
I'm
sells.
speculating because that's what we're looking at. I'm looking at what the previous thing did.
But what if there was a way like it's
Okay, so
the same?
we should have did that with Wii U 10, right? Do the same thing with Wii U.
Yeah.
Hey, well, that's what it did previously, so that's what Nintendo going to do. Come on, bro. Come on now.
I'm
Come on
saying
now.
that
Come on,
that's not guaranteed.
Oh,
So
Lord.
let me ask
Really
this. Here's been my main point this whole time. It doesn't matter like well, I mean, I'm not talking just from their strategy of marketing and games and stuff, but just logically as an engineer, it had to been their focus had to be it had to work as the handheld first. That's always been my point. If you open the dock up like I did, it's such a I mean, people could 3D print something better than that cheap ass plastic case and that little circuit board with a few little, capacitors and stuff on it. That definitely was. That wasn't. There was hardly any engineering. I mean, there was some engineering, but I mean, we know that they can sell USB HDMI dongle things for like $30. Like now, I mean, back then probably not. Just from a design standpoint, everything they had to do from the controllers to the CPU clock speeds, the actual chipset themselves, everything had to be so that it could work as a handheld. So that was always the stance I took. And I said Nintendo views it that way too when they were designing it. And now they know that the dock part of it's a selling
That's
point.
a result of sales. Like that's a result of how well it did. Like if it didn't do well, it'd be fucking Wii U. We wouldn't have all the games that we have if it didn't sell well. A lot of those Switch games were supposed to be Wii U games, but
Right.
Wii U didn't sell. Like, why?
I
are we
think it
acting
was
like
guaranteed to
this is-
exactly why it's viewed as why the next console was from Wii U to Switch. You know,
I think
like,
it's a. So here's the thing.
even the very first thing we saw of the Switch was a man sitting down on the couch with the controller and it plugged in like that. And then
Here-
the reveal was like, holy
He
shit!
think he's saying something different, but
But here's the
Well, they marketed
here's
it
the
as
thing though.
as the
So
hybrid.
here's the thing. They market it as a hybrid, but we can tell that this thing was designed as a handheld first, with hybrid elements thrown in towards the end of it. Because the docking thing, as Juices explained, it wasn't anything crazy.
Well, that might have been from the get-go. That might have been their plan.
I mean, like it was. I think the handheld experience was prioritized over the console experience to an extent. I would say it's like a good 70% handheld focus with a 30% console focus, because there were certain things that even Nintendo recognized, which is why we got the light the way it is. The light is the way it is because it's like, yeah, there were a couple things that we could do to make it more handheld capable. I mean, handheld friendly. Let me be more specific.
more.
But I'll also say is that they didn't release any Wii U software after the console release, but they did release 3DS just in case the Switch flopped. They can continue their handheld side of 3DS. Come
Well,
on,
yeah.
that's not. I'm not.
I think they did that with Game Boy Advance
What
and
happened,
DS though.
what?
Yeah,
What did
exactly,
you-
because
what did you-
they're
what happened?
handheld continuation.
They
So
could.
Yeah, but the
it's-
Switch, I think the Switch, even if the Switch failed as like a home console, it could have still carried on as a handheld.
No, but the whole I mean, if they were that confident in the Switch from the get-go, they wouldn't release any 3DS games either. But they dropped releasing Wii U games because they're like, this is our new shit. Forget about the Wii U. This is the new console you're playing. And then for 3DS, they're like, we're still gonna release
Well,
some things.
Well, then no, that's different.
That
That's
was. I
different
don't think
because
that was about the
Wii U didn't
confidence.
have the Wii U didn't have. First off, the Wii U, there was money to still be made on the 3DS.
Yeah, that's what I think it was. There's
That's what I
still.
was gonna say. So look at him.
You
He
reach.
gonna break it. Oh, that reaching. That reach.
I don't think it's a
reach.
reach. I just think that's normal for them. Hey, we have a successful system with 80 million. Let's throw
Yeah,
out
why
some
would you-
remakes.
yeah.
Let's throw out a late
You could. Yeah.
remake of Metroid. Let's throw out
Yeah,
some
that's a
ports of
normal
some
way
Wii
to
U
make.
ports. You know,
Yeah,
Everybody's
money
doing
they
that.
made.
Everybody, literally everyone
they're
is doing that.
they're
Well,
they
no,
lost
I-
they lost some money during that for the Wii.
How many games for Wii came out in 2012?
Well, Wii
I mean,
2011
after
only
Wii-
only one or
after-
two games came
after
out.
Wii was
after Wii
damn
came
near
out.
dry.
Yeah, but exactly. But I'm saying that was a
You're trying to make
successful.
some rules. That
I don't understand.
Nintendo
Yeah,
got-
I don't know what
Nintendo,
that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
He's making. Oh, wait, let me make sure.
I'm saying the reason
help
why
him out.
they cut off is because that was truly first and foremost to the next home console for them. That's why
So let me make sure I'm understanding you correctly. The reason why you think, using the Wii's example, the reason why you said the reason why they cut it off is because they view that as their
generation
successor.
started with there was the successor we used. They're not going to put any more things on it.
People were still putting out games to the. I mean,
Nintendo
all right, wait,
was.
Nintendo wasn't putting.
Nintendo.
Okay, so we're just specifically referring to Nintendo.
Yeah,
Not,
I don't know.
okay.
I'm doing Nintendo. They stopped releasing once the Wii U came out because it was the successor. The Switch comes out, the successor is of the Wii U. They stopped releasing the Wii U games. And the GameCube came out. Did they release anything after the Wii? Come on, I'm not just saying shit on my ass.
Wait,
The GameCube, that's your example?
I think-
the console that was almost dead in 2004?
I think the bad.
the problem is, I think the problem is we're
You got
making
some
rules
bad
for a
examples.
company. Wait, here's my
I'm
problem.
with the
We're making
bastard
rules with a
GameCube.
company that openly does not follow rules.
Well,
I think that's the problem.
Well, the thing that they all three of those have in common was the sales fell off a cliff for all three of those before the next system came out. So we'd have to see what
I
they
know
do
you
with
were
the
young,
Switch.
son.
Let's see
I know
what
you
they.
was young, but if you had a GameCube in 2004,
There was nothing.
there was nothing coming to that bitch.
You
Nothing.
can't ignore the Wii. I know
The end
that-
of
that-
2010 was
Well,
already.
It was the same way. The Wii sold great until about 2009, and it fell off a cliff.
And then
No one cared anymore.
2010, they like, wow, these games aren't selling nearly as good. In 2011, they had one game come out, and they're like, shit, we better put everything into the next console. So we'll see with the Switch 2. That'll tell you. You think the Switch 1 games are just going to be cut off, clean cut, nothing comes out after the Switch 2 from Nintendo?
I don't know. I
They-
guess we'll see.
I think
That's-
it's.
That's how the history was. But if
With
you notice-
150 million units out there,
I know it is a bit of a
It's
different ballgame.
yeah.
I
think
mean,
it's a little
your,
different.
your examples are factually true, but I don't think that lends to the, hey, this is definitely the successor argument. Like, to me, that doesn't, it's not just
Well,
because
I
it's a
think
successor.
There's not enough of a correlation.
Because I think
just
if the
think that
Wii U
for-
was fairly successful, they released a hybrid. If the Wii U had a 50 million if they had a 50 million install base on Wii U and they launched a hybrid that consolidated their home console and handheld, they might still put out a few ports or remasters or something on Wii. You can't, who knows? Like, but it was
Just
such a
Dance?
failure.
Well, that's the thing is also is if the Wii U was successful, the Switch wouldn't exist.
Yeah, they
Not
might.
for a while.
It wouldn't have came out as quick, but I
It wouldn't
maybe
have came out as
and
quick,
maybe
but
they
I
wouldn't
would-
have, and maybe it wouldn't have
No,
been a
it would have
hybrid. But
existed. It would have been the next generation console for both. But in the end of the day, is like what really the whole idea was. It was succeeding the Wii U because I mean, again, it brought the Wii U games and stuff like that was the main idea. That was the main idea. So
My main point
I get
is
it-
Nintendo.
I get it has to be designed as a handheld first. because-
Nintendo no longer makes traditional consoles. The Switch is not a traditional console. It is a handheld focused first console that can
It's a
play on your
hybrid.
TV. It is a hybrid. My point is Nintendo said we can't just fucking make a box that sits on under a TV anymore.
Yeah.
We can't compete in that shit anymore. So
Yeah.
we gotta actually the one time we got it all right. The GameCube was that console. It was fucking super powerful. It had disc, everything. And they sold 21 million units of them bitches. And if the Wii didn't do what the Wii did, they would did this shit a lot earlier, I think. But the Wii
they might have
came
went
out,
third party if they had like, well, they still had their
Right.
handhelds.
I'd be curious.
They still were selling handheld. It would have been a handheld.
Was a hit maker. during
So
that
here's
time.
here's something to spark this. After what, almost 8 years? Has it been almost 8 years since the Switch came out? 2017. How many years will that be? 2025.
Well, next year, 8 years.
Yeah, it'd be 8 years. No, that would 8 years in March.
8 years in like 4 months. Yeah.
I
4 months.
kind of, I literally just hit me. I kind of don't. I don't accept the hybrid.
What?
The hybrid tag.
What do you mean?
I mean, but based on T's examples with the Steam Deck and the Lenovo, it's like it's a handheld. They made a nice, convenient way to just quickly get it on your TV. That anybody could make that for. You could make that for the. Somebody could make that for the Steam Deck and the all the other ones. I'm guessing. Maybe it wouldn't be instant, but I mean, maybe that had to be like OS level something. But to me, it's a handheld that you can dock to your TV. Like, it's what makes it. What about it's a hybrid other than this accessory that turns the USB into HDMI signal? Like,
Well,
what?
I guess here's my question.
Because it sounds better than saying it's a handheld.
No. But here's my question. What else would it have to be considered a hybrid?
Yeah, what would you make it called?
What else would it need to be a hybrid if it's not a
I
hybrid?
think
now?
I just think the nature of how it is, like,
What is the hybrid? That's some shit Nintendo came up
accessibility
with.
accessibility of having you again really quick and having the Pro controller and being able to do local co-op. And, like, there's just a lot more like things to make it seem more.
It's
of,
like a Swiss Army
cool.
knife kind of thing,
You
but I
go-
don't know. I mean, to me, like we
Really?
use more of a hybrid. If you could take the gamepad like further away, to me that's more of a hybrid.
If they would have done the
Well,
SAR
it
thing
ain't
and made
those
a
No, but I mean,
made
really,
an
I
attachment
mean,
for DS games for that bitch, and
if like
a USB attachment that allowed you to play DS games on it.
I
that would've made it a
honestly,
hybrid
I mean,
product.
just me personally, I haven't like really thought of it as a hybrid in a long time, and I only mostly play it docked. Like, but
Hey, you could play Game Boy Advance and Game Boy games on your GameCube, but that's a hybrid too.
so I mean, just to me, literally just had that thought as we were
Hey,
having
man, that
this
was a nice
discussion,
attachment they added for the GameCube.
and I really I don't.
Attachment. We gotta do.
I don't accept the
Hey,
hybrid.
man.
I don't accept
Hey,
hybrid
man,
anymore.
Jesus.
It's a handheld that can be docked to your TV. I don't think that makes it a hybrid.
Yeah, but why can't you call the dock just a different word with just hybrid? You know what I mean, like we're
It
just
plays
making a
console games,
At this
man.
point, we're-
It plays console.
It's a hybrid
games.
in the sense that Nintendo puts their full development teams on what would essentially be their console games, obviously.
Yeah.
It's also well, I guess my thing is that it's console design on a handheld device. Because if
Yeah.
you play the 3DS, you know there's a difference between playing a 3DS game and then playing like an
That
actual.
came out in 2011. The 3DS came out in 2017.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm just saying, there's a difference between
From
handheld
an
design
operating
and console
system, I
design.
mean, it's
Yes, there was a difference. That difference no longer exists.
Because
So
Nintendo changed it to a hybrid.
Really? It was Nintendo that did that? It was Nintendo that did that? You sure?
I mean, I think technically
don't-
that
you
goes
don't-
to
you don't agree?
PlayStation. Sony was trying to do console experiences.
Sony
on
was
handheld
trying.
devices.
but
They
they
tried
didn't
well
do it.
try to
They
help
said
sell
it-
the Vita. They
that
came
hand-
out with
that was a
PlayStation.
handheld.
They came out with
Well,
PlayStation
I think
TV.
I think they were making closer strides than Nintendo, but Nintendo wasn't worrying about that. But like, they actively were trying to make console experiences on the Vita and the PSP.
Yeah,
I think
that's
that's a
PSP.
fair.
They tried to
free
make
games,
console
they-
experience.
The problem is that they couldn't
Yeah,
they couldn't
those
maintain.
aren't. If you play a PSP, those aren't handheld game. Handheld games with some. Oh, I can do a quick thing and then be out. You know, I can quickly bounce in. That's what a lot of people think when they think of handheld games. Oh, I can only. This game is good for a 5-minute thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they had 2 full big ass Grand Theft Auto games on the PSP. They were so good that they ported them bitches to the console. So
I will say
that
this.
idea of a handheld game that was pretty much gone in the late 2000s.
And the Switch kind of killed that idea of, oh, we got to make like shorter, little, smaller
Well, yeah, of
games
course.
that can be better over shorter play sessions. Just the fact that you can suspend any game
The problem.
on the Switch makes it so who doesn't matter, you know?
Well, exactly. But the biggest issue, the biggest way you could see it is when they start porting certain 3DS titles to fucking console. You got things like Revelations came, and you were like, oh, this is very. It feels almost weirdly paced because of how it was originally designed.
Yeah, the
And there were
chapter
certain-
system feels
Yeah,
really weird in that.
The 3DS feels more like a handheld
Because
because of the second screen shit. That's what makes it feel, oh, this is a smaller thing. This is a kind of different thing.
I also think
But
it was
it-
the way the areas, like for games, it was just designed like
Certain
that.
games.
Certain games, not all, but
Well, they
certain-
didn't attempt a lot of like full
Even
3D
to-
games, even on until like the 3DS. None of the
Yeah,
handhelds
even
had like full 3D.
Luigi's Mansion 2 is a good example of that.
Luigi Mansion 2 is a good example, yeah.
Where it's like this weird chapter by chapter, like you go into the mansion, you do a thing, and then you get kicked back out just to go into the mansion for the next mission. Like that kind of design died, like after the 3DS.
And honestly, they didn't really need to do that because the 3DS
what
had
modern
the
game
really
does that?
coolest thing.
Robert.
I mean, you still. I mean, it's not it, but you still have Super Mario Brothers Wonder that you pick a world and a stage and finish the goal and go back to the map. It's literally the same thing.
Yeah, but Mario's already
Just in a
Mario's
3D
always had
Mario.
that formula.
Mario,
That's just a Mario. That's just Mario.
Yeah, but why can't they have it? Why can't they have a new 2D game where it's never ends? Like it's just one big long world level that you can just explore. It's the next step, man. Come on. Why
Then you're
not?
talking about a Metroidvania if you got like a big map to
Yeah,
explore.
that one. That's literally what that is. That's like Dread,
True.
actually.
I would
But
say
imagine if you go to different, like you go up and then all of a sudden it's like a stage within there, and then you end it and then ended, I guess, but you're collecting something towards the end, and then you can go back to a hub. I don't know. Maybe there's a thing
maybe
they
they're
can
gonna do open world Mario 2D. But either way, I was thinking also the other day about how Echoes of Wisdom would have definitely been on the hand if there was a separate handheld and home console. Echoes of Wisdom would have been on the handheld, even though it doesn't really feel like that condensed game like some of the older, like Link's Awakening is like super short. Maybe you can get through Echoes of Wisdom that fast if you speed run it or something.
Beeline at it.
But I was like, yeah, this definitely would have been on the handheld. So in that regard, yes, the hybrid was blending their studios together. That's the hybrid part of it for me. It's like we're gonna join our studios, put them all in one house, and we're just make games for one platform. Yeah, we're just
gonna make games, man.
So, but as far as like the physical device, I just find it, just think about it now, I just find it strange to call it a hybrid at this point.
I could see that argument now
before the PC handheld came out.
Yeah,
okay, hybrid worked.
I can understand that statement now. I think when it came out, I think you could still call it a hybrid, and people really wouldn't have questioned you.
It's a hybrid in its strategy more than like the actual device. Like
that was a coat of armor. It was still
no. Here's the thing. I think the validity in calling it a hybrid was more prevalent when it came out versus now, where now technology is just past it, like everything.
And we're so used to the Switch.
That's also the thing, though, is like, because of technology, again, everything's an Xbox, right? So it's like now everything's like, what is anything, right? Nothing exists anymore.
You're having an existential crisis. Chill out.
Jay Biggs brings up
and they were handheld PCs, my friends, by the way, before the Steam Deck, and they just weren't. They didn't get any traction.
They were super expensive.
They were super expensive for one. So, and I'm talking before Switch even came out. I'm talking 2015, 2016.
Would you?
What was that shit? Player or something?
Well, then I have a question then. Do you think Switch properly popularized the handheld console experience?
No doubt about it. Because Nintendo is very good at handhelds. They've always been. They destroyed every piece of competition they've ever had when it came to handheld.
And have a handheld that's like actually graphically impressive. That just
even handhelds that were better. Handhelds that had backlights before the Game Boy did. They still all failed. So
then I guess this is looping back a little bit, but do you think a PlayStation handheld in 2020, I don't know, let's just say 2027, with the new wave of it would do better than like Vita did or the PSP?
That might do better than Vita probably, but probably not much, because again, this is going to be a niche product.
Unless they
better than PSP, hell no, not even. It won't even come close to the PSP.
Unless they just make that the next PlayStation, they pull a switch and just say here's our.
They would have to say,
well,
this
considering Sony's money problems with game development as of recently, I would think something's got to change anyway.
Their bread and butter, what they're known for, is their tech.
Yeah, but like at a certain,
you can't say, "Oh, we're gonna get rid of our biggest strength."
But they're not making enough money to justify keep doing it. That's my problem. Like that was like their whole thing earlier this year. Like, oh yeah, we're going to rethink our game development because we're not making enough
money.
The
game development, not console development. You can't fuck with that.
But yeah, I mean, would they even be able to compete with by then? Steam Deck 2 is going to be out. You're going to have. If Asus and Lenovo are still making them, like they're gonna be just another one in that pool. So like I think
if anything, their competition is gonna be worse if this comes out like in 2027
Yeah,
or some shit.
It's going to be
I
interesting.
think you're looking more 2028, 2029.
Well, the point I'm making is in the future there's gonna be
I think it's
worse.
28, yeah.
We already have like what 6 or 7 different manufacturers that are known in that space, and you're fighting against all of them.
They're making their name known, you know.
And what makes it worse, you can
Wait,
play you can
what's the
play
premise there?
PlayStation games on half of those systems already. Like the Steam Deck can play Horizon. It can play.
Yeah, that's why
Spider-Man.
I'm saying to you, this is not supposed to be the next big thing for them. This is supposed to subsidize whatever losses they incur as far as not being able to sell games outside of their console. You know, like people, they want to be able to play stuff not just tethered to their house all the time, tethered to their home console.
I get it. I guess my problem at that point is, since you put all this stuff on PC and all these other, like the Steam Deck or the various other handheld devices we have that already play games off of Steam, which means you can play most of these PlayStation games. What would
a year, 2-3 years later.
Well, yeah,
they're gonna give you that option day one.
But listen, the
play
reason why I
this
said
on the go day
the
one.
gap has been closing steadily, just even between some of the recent releases. Like even Spider-Man 2 coming out in January, that's already shorter than any other PlayStation game from console release to PC release. It's like a little bit over a year because it came out like late last year and now it's out in January. Like I think that gap is going to get smaller and smaller. In which case, people might be like,
well, unless Steam Deck and comes out with a 2 or something. I mean, some of those games run fine.
Well, there will be a Steam Deck too.
Some others,
already announced
struggle.
that shit.
So
I mean, I think the Steam Deck is justified. It's already kind of been like, yeah, we're making another one. So
yeah,
I think the issue is more so is that if Sony wants to come out in 2028, like, can it compete and can you run your games better?
Yeah, I mean,
I would
Steam Deck
argue
is not like 50 million units. It was 10 million units, roughly. So that's successful for them because it's like, all right, people can leave their PCs. They're not stuck to their PC. We're not interested in like cornering the market, and they don't even care if they sell that many. Like they just want you to play more Steam shit. Like that's that's where they can get away with that, where other companies can't. Where it's like, oh, if I make a handheld console or handheld PC, that bitch has to sell because I don't make any money. I'm not making any money off this bitch. I don't have a Steam store. I don't have that kind of stuff. That Steam they're fine. They're fine. Put their software on any device. You can put that shit on ROG Out. They don't care as long as you playing their fucking system or whatever. They're playing their games off of their software. But
to me,
Sony doesn't have that. They have their thing is, all right, we have exclusive games that only we have. And obviously, we're starting to put shit on PC now, so that's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt some of their potential sales of a handheld, and in the margins. But I think there's still enough people, even if they sell 10 million of these things. That is great for them. They're happy.
Well,
I think they'd be happy with that.
Sales goal for the Pro is 13 million in its life by like 2029.
I guess my issue then is that essentially, if the handheld's only goal is to essentially recoup costs that they're gonna lose in other ventures, it's almost like you're putting a Band-Aid on a bad business practice. For just to keep up with the illusion of the bad business practice.
Well, I think they're cutting back on these giant fucking games, like all those licensed shit. I saw a headline somewhere about Spider-Man. Sony may not continue to hold on to that.
That makes sense.
It makes sense. You don't need
those
that
games.
shit,
those games do well, but the problem is you don't make enough money to.
You don't make enough money to justify them. So.
I think Wolverine.
All you do is giving Marvel money. Marvel is very happy. Keep making them bitches.
Yeah, because they're killing it off of licensing alone.
Right.
Well,
so
remember, they got to pay them off the top just to use the IP. It's like we're not even talking about the game hasn't even been made yet.
Right.
And then they get the royalties when the game is
exactly.
made. And so like, and
Sony, you have enough fucking IPs. You don't need to do that shit.
I also feel bad.
Start making your own shit again.
You've locked Insomniac in this closet, who's been carrying your console.
The best developer you have. Naughty Dog, whatever. I don't think they're that anymore. No, Insomniac is your best fucking developer right now. They've
Damn.
saved you this generation, and they
Absolutely.
could be doing so much more than fucking Spider-Man. They could be doing so much more cool shit.
Well, remember, we got Wolverine.
Oh fuck!
Well, the what I'll say is though that honestly, I'm not even at that point. I'm not even really thinking about Sony about releasing a handheld because they at least they'll have somewhat exclusivity time. But like, why would Microsoft release a handheld then in that case? Because they release all their stuff day one on PC and stuff. Like that point, what would be their reasoning to do they to release a handheld? You know what I mean?
What's Microsoft's
That's it.
reasoning? Because you can't play everything on PC and stuff. They want you to be able to have your entire library, your real full library. You can take it anywhere. You can't do that on PC right now. Like if you have
You can take a chunk of it.
you could but all the
But
all
from
the
here on
legacy
out, I feel
stuff.
like you pretty much could. Like, I think maybe you. I mean, all you'd be looking at. I mean, but at that point, you'd be streaming it. I guess is like the Xbox
Oh, yeah,
360
probably.
games. You know, like some Xbox One games, like backwards
Yeah, because
compatibility.
that's what somebody was saying is like, oh, you're saying this is an Xbox, and that is really I can't do any of this shit. Almost, half of this shit I can do on my Series X. I can't do it on a fucking a laptop and all this stuff that you're saying is an Xbox. So I think they're trying to bridge that gap. And who knows? By the time for this thing to come out, release, they may have already bridged that gap on PC. You know, like it may not
Well,
be.
here's my
It may
question.
be pointless
Do
then.
you think their audience has a higher potential ceiling than like Sony in
No.
that space?
I don't think so.
Currently, no.
Unless
I
you
think they
call
could,
it like,
but what's
unless you
coming?
call it like the the Xbox Game Pass something, and it comes with like 3 years of Game Pass or something. I don't know.
Even then, that's a short term thing. That's not gonna be something that would justify making this device.
I've never
Yeah.
looked up
In the long run.
Hellblade 2 on the Steam Deck before, so just
And then,
and I figured out
Right.
what the streaming issue was last week. Why I couldn't share my
What?
screen. There's two options. There's two categories for enabling and disabling the hardware acceleration. I did it in the wrong one.
oh,
So Steam Deck, 720p FSR3. Because I honestly I would be curious. I was
And then they're like all zoomed in.
30.
Is that,
36 and 48. So
They
I
try
mean,
to show you the super pixels that you don't see. Show you the difference.
well, they're showing you the visual differences in the settings.
between the set.
You guys-
But isn't it? You don't find it funny? It's like we need to see the differences. Let's get it. Let's
They're
get
trying
really
to.
in there.
in.
You don't know. I guess you probably never watched like a benchmark for PC gaming.
No, I've seen. Trust me, I've seen.
That's what this
Still
is.
stupid.
This is like, hey, these are the 3 setting options. These are what you get frame rate. These are what you get for the visual cuts.
No, I get that, but
I mean,
it's
I just always find it. I don't know. I've always find people's reaction to Digital Foundry very odd because to me it's just like this is just factual information for the
no, it's factual,
for
of
the
course.
user to say, hey, okay, that's nice to know. Okay, if I run it at this settings, it looks this way, and I can get 30. If I
Not
run it at
saying
this
that-
settings,
It's meant to be just pure information, and then you do with it what you will.
The pure zooming into the thing that there's.
it's
no
YouTube.
chance-
It's YouTube. They have to zoom in on YouTube to show the difference because YouTube's
I know,
compression.
but that's how minimal these differences are, dude.
No. That's not. It's not how minimal. Yeah, in some games, but on YouTube they literally said we have to zoom in, otherwise the YouTube compression will make them both
and
look
then
the
you're
same.
streaming it to us also.
They make it look this. It'll look the same with YouTube's compression, so they have to zoom in to show the difference. Otherwise, they might as well not
But what if
even.
you don't see a difference when they zoom in? I don't have robot eyes. I can't
Well, yeah,
see
some
anything
games are
different.
some games are
You'll
so
see a difference
close.
I know you'll see the difference between the Steam Deck and the Series X and stuff, but I've always found it very funny when they'll have the PS5 Pro stuff and they'll zoom in.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've literally said that's why they do it because otherwise YouTube it washes out the difference. So yeah, it's not a huge difference, but if you got to find a difference, if your job is to find the difference.
They have a website, and I'm guessing
I
they
know
have a
it's the
website,
job to find
and they
information.
upload 4K.
But like this,
Yeah,
like
that
if you have a
one, yeah.
Steam Deck, do you want to go through all this changing settings and stuff? This is just say, hey, this is the settings and the performance. This is this settings and performance. This is what you lose. This is what you gain. I mean, it's like a buyer. It's a buyer guide.
But the zooming in is hilarious, dude. I don't know what to tell you. It's
I just told you why they do it.
I know that's why I do it, but it looks so fucking stupid. It looks hilarious.
If you were there in person,
and that looks doo-doo-er.
if you were there in person,
Oh my!
you would probably look at it, okay, and then you look at the other one, and yeah, you would look at them close. You wouldn't hold them. You wouldn't go across the room to see the difference. You would look at them close.
I know, but I just again, I mean, look, you know, we're talking.
Well, my thing is, if you're playing this shit on Steam Deck, why do you even give a fuck? Like you're playing it on Steam Deck, it's not gonna be.
True.
That's my thing.
You're zooming in on a handheld.
They're not
listen,
zooming in on
is
this,
how
and you can clearly. I mean, it's definitely going for the. Let's see, the FSR 3 definitely looks like really bad. Or no, whatever this one is. That looks. Yeah, I mean, that to me, that's a pretty big sacrifice to play on.
Yeah,
on the Steam
Yeah,
Deck.
but you're seeing it on the small screen. Well, it's not that small a screen, but it's a smaller screen, you know, on a handheld.
Do they show it on other handhelds and not just Steam Deck?
This
No,
one's
like,
specifically Steam
You're
Deck.
seeing it on there, like
I think this is
pretty-
this is
really
specifically.
good.
Again, that's why they have to zoom in on the YouTube video so you can see it. If you were like
So you
looking
can
at
see
it,
things
See what it
you
looks
won't see
like.
in real life.
I feel
if
like
you're looking at it in
going
person,
fucking
you'd see the difference. But no, if
I
you
want
make,
to see what it looks like on my Lenovo Legion God.
if
That's
you
what I wanna
if
see.
you walked 5 feet away from your Steam Deck, it's gonna look amazing.
It's
But
more
that's not
powerful.
how you're playing it. You're playing it in arm's reach. So that's literally why they
Yeah,
have.
but
to
you're
do it.
also
Well-
not seeing it zoomed, whatever, you know.
Also,
If
hey,
if you're playing this game on Steam Deck, you're playing the bits wrong anyway.
Hey,
so-
hey, T, I was gonna
the
ask.
the zoom in is trying to accommodate for, like I said, instead of going across the room
I
to
know,
look
but
at
look
it,
at the
look
way
at
the
it.
guy's playing, right? That's how you play it in real life. You're not playing it like this.
That's what they're emulating where you would normally play
They're
it.
not emulating
Oh,
because
there's
at
a
the end
rogue
of the
ally.
day, you have to zoom in. You're now like stretching that screen.
You
until
lied to
whatever
me.
you're
I see a
watching.
ROG ally. You liar.
Were they comparing? Oh, yeah, they did compare it. Either way, it's a pointless argument. I mean, it's just
Ooh.
optics. It's tech. It's like
That's
how your
what I
eyes
wouldn't
work.
care about. That frame rate difference. That's what I worry about.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Is
that
the
makes
ROG
sense.
Ally
You see the
considered a
frame rate
better
Turbo
hardware?
mode?
It's the most
Well,
powerful.
this isn't the X either. This is just the standard.
How much
ROG
is the ROG Ally?
Ally X is the most powerful.
See,
It's
like
like
this,
6.
like why are they doing like for people that maybe somebody has both?
hold on. I didn't say anything about the frame rate. I didn't say anything. You're now making up my thing.
No, I'm just saying these
talking about the zoom
comparisons
in.
in general. I'm telling you why they have to zoom in. You won't accept it.
I think I'll never not think it's stupid. It's in the end of the day, like I know you can say like
Well, you
When
sit
people-
5 feet from a TV that you should probably be 12 feet from, realistically.
yeah,
Here we go.
trust me when I
Here we-
say I'm not gonna see the difference
But-
between the ROG Ally 900p and the Steam Deck 720p.
So if you
while
were
sitting
comparing-
down playing it.
If you're comparing two TVs, right? Let's say back in the day they did it with 720p and 1080 because people are like, oh, I can't tell the difference. They're like, yeah, from 10 feet away, you can't tell the difference between a 720p and a 1080p TV from 10 feet away. Your eyes just can't tell the difference.
Guys, it's not worth
Okay?
it at this
You
point.
get
please.
you accept that. Your eyes can't tell the difference at 10 feet away. I'm just making
I
up a
accept
number.
that.
Whatever.
I don't know. Where's the TV at 10 feet? I don't see it right now.
No, I'm telling
I'm
you.
not sure.
It's factual, scientifically proven. Whatever the distance is, I'm just saying 10 foot.
Okay, but the distance.
And you're
you have
like-
to-
You're like, oh, there's this,
Zoom
there.
in
What's
to-
the benefit of 1080p? From 10 feet away, they look the same. Well, what if you're 5 feet away?
No, I get that. I get.
So-
I get that. Like you talk about the
5 feet
window
away,
effect
it's
and-
clear. It's so obvious. But the further back you go, the less your eyes can resolve. So I mean, that's just what they're trying to accomplish with the zoom is like, hey, this is if you're close to your handheld. Your handheld's 3 feet from your eyeballs.
No. Hold on a second. They're zooming into a specific part. You're not playing their game and looking into a specific.
No, they're
part.
trying to
That's-
recreate what it would be like
Yeah.
having the handheld in your hands a couple feet from your face. That's what.
What for that specific part of the?
Yes,
screen? That
because
makes
if
no
you,
sense.
like I said, YouTube washes
my
out the
goodness.
difference. If you don't zoom in, the YouTube video compression washes out the difference. You can't tell the difference.
I mean,
There's a difference to the eye. If you're holding it, you can see it. But in the YouTube video, if they don't zoom in, you can't see it because of the
but that
compression.
just means that the difference is not noticeable in general. Because if you
No.
put a Switch version and a
It's not true.
Xbox One version or something, you'll see a difference between YouTube. You telling not true? Not true. You can't tell the difference between Hogwarts Legacy Switch and PS4 Hogwarts
Oh,
Legacy. You put them
that's not
side
what I
by
said.
side.
Not true to.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the whole zoom in is bullshit. it's bullshit.
They don't have to zoom in when it's when it's a PS5 versus a Switch though. Like they just they
Well,
wouldn't have
because
to.
They got to zoom out for the Switch.
But that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
But if you were standing
That's what I'm saying.
20
You're
feet
talking
away,
about-
you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between the PS5 and the Switch. That's the
Yes,
point.
You can. What? You absolutely could.
No, you can't.
You
I don't know
can
if it's
tell
20
the difference,
feet.
you absolutely
Whatever the
could.
distance, there's a distance where you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between the two.
I mean,
would be able to tell the
if
difference
you're
between
standing,
certain-
if you're looking from a
Certain games
football,
specifically,
That's-
like I would say
They're trying to
in
they're trying to
2K,
overcome.
stuff like that. I think you wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
a very specific games.
I'm saying I think you
Probably.
wouldn't be able to tell the difference on games, certain
Probably
games like
very
NBA
specific
2K.
games.
Hell, maybe even Witcher 3 from 20 feet away.
Yeah, the further away,
I don't know.
that's just the same. That's just getting back to it. That's why they have to do it for the YouTube video. Like, yeah, but some games it's so minimal. There's not even a difference.
That's what I'm
but
saying.
in some games. But for this instance,
That was one of them. Man.
but that's why they.
I
That's
don't have a problem. I've said that years ago. I don't have. That's what they are. That's what they do. They sit there
and they wouldn't zoom
they
in
take the
if
smallest little things.
if the
That's
YouTube
literally
video
what they're there
wouldn't
for.
if the compression wouldn't wash out the difference, then they wouldn't have to zoom in. They're just overcoming YouTube.
What I didn't
Simple
like
as that.
about them is that when they use that shit for console warring and shit. That was my issue with
See,
it.
I wouldn't say they used it. I would say the
No.
fanboys used it.
Yeah, but they also and they even didn't they somewhat apologize for.
Well, John Lennon started engaging with the console war stuff, and
Yeah. Okay. So that's what I'm talking about.
he wasn't
I didn't-
engaging in it in a positive way. He was trying to fight back, and he started getting nasty, and actually he apologized for some of his behavior because he was just acting stupid. Because the fanboys were taking their information
fanboys were gonna do
and they
that
were
anyway.
using it in their console war stuff. That's
Yeah. And
What-
what I'm saying, how stupid it is if you got to use that for console
Yeah.
wars, how good is your console?
But
That's what I'm trying to say.
I never.
That's what you
It's like,
got
what
to
do you want
use.
them to do? Stop making a living because console warriors are using their
No.
information against each other like that? They're not going to stop what they do. It's not.
Yeah,
I always,
how far do
Just don't put your finger on the scale, and they were doing that for some stuff. They were doing that.
I never heard
Put your
that.
finger on the scale.
how far do you think you have to be to tell the difference between Black Ops 1 Wii footage and Black Ops 1 360
Oh my god.
footage? I
Depends
think I
on-
could be a football feet away still see
Nah.
the difference between it.
Dude,
That's not
you-
fair. Those
I'll
aren't
find
the
it.
same games on. They're not built on the same tech. Come on now.
If you
That-
want to
that's
watch,
not-
not-
if
that's
you want to
not-
watch
that's
a
when
video
it's
on
not
like the
fair.
scientific
That's
reasons why that,
That's when it's not fair. You're not being fair.
You're
No,
being
but they literally-
disingenuous,
they're literally
Robert.
the same levels, the same everything. It's
I
The
think-
levels are the same. I said the same tech. They're not built on the same tech.
But
When you're
even
talking about
still.
a game that's on a PC that may run a little better on this PC versus that PC, that's a difference. That is a more fair thing. But when you're talking about when Black Ops is built on the
What?
fucking on Unreal Engine 3 or Unreal Engine 2 and shit, and this one's on 5, that's the same game. No, that's not. No, you
I
can't do
bet
that.
you.
You-
I mean, we can't prove it
Uh,
obviously, but
I
I bet you Digital Foundry would still find a way to zoom into some section on the Wii
I
game
could-
versus
They
the
wouldn't do that.
360.
you know what?
They
Honestly,
would.
I if I could find a way to zoom out on my screen to like a 2-inch by 2-inch, I bet you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between the 360 and the Wii. I don't know how far away that would be. Like if it was a full size TV, there is literally your eyes. It's just fact. It's
Well,
just science. It's
2-inch,
just
You're
science.
talking about the tiny 2-inch.
But that would be the
that's
same
bullshit.
as being 20 feet away from a 40-inch TV. It's the same.
2 inches? Oh, because like technically it's like your
If you
eye.
hold your arms out, it's called
You
viewing
won't be able to
angle.
see.
If you hold where you're
Yeah,
sitting,
yeah.
the edges of
I
the
understand.
TV from you draw a line from the middle of your face to the middle of the wall, and then you draw 2 lines out to the edge of the TV. So if I bought my 77-inch TV, if I would have mounted it on the wall, it would have looked like the same size as my 65-inch that was way off the wall on my stand.
I don't know, man, because I'm looking at like a game like Dead Rising, and the Dead Rising on Wii and Dead Rising on 360, and I'm like, I'm 50 feet away, and I can tell the Dead Rising on Wii only
It's
got
not-
3
if-
zombies on the screen.
Yeah, that would be, you'd be able to tell that.
Yeah.
One game has 3
fuck?
zombies on screen, and one has 3.
Oh my
But
god.
unfortunately,
But I
they weren't
I
around
can
back
figure
then.
that out.
I
I
bet
think-
you they would still zoom in somewhere, man. They'd
I
be
don't
like,
think-
check
but-
this out. Look at the difference.
I don't think you'd have to be that far away to get for Black Ops 1 on Wii versus 360 for
Dude, the Black Ops 1, I played a lot of Black Ops.
I know, but I'm
That's not even
saying
the
once you
difference.
like literally like once you start getting a certain distance away, they're gonna look the same. Maybe the frame rate you'd be able to tell the 60 and 30, but as far as resolution stuff, you would be like that looks like the same. I mean, it's just facts. I mean, it's just the way it is. I had this argument with RetroDeath because it was about the Game Boy Advance version of a game versus a Super Nintendo. I said, the Game Boy Advance is always going to win because it's on this little tiny screen. Like, it's always going to look better than anything unless the Super Nintendo game was on that same screen. That's the only way to compare them fairly. To say, oh, well, this one's sharper, this one's, whatever.
Wait, sharpness?
Hold on a second, but nowadays a lot of people play Game Boy Advance on TVs and stuff.
Oh no.
Yeah, the only fair way to
I
compare.
did that back in 2003.
The only fair way to compare Super
my
Nintendo to
GameCube.
Game Boy Advance would be having both on the exact same size TV next to each other. That's the only
Wait,
way
what does he say? What does he say? He's saying that what?
He didn't. He said that the
what?
Game Boy Advance looks way better than Super Nintendo, and I said, yeah, because on that small screen it looked really good. But if you put Game Boy Advance games on the same size TV as a Super Nintendo game, they're way closer. And I think it's there's some advancement. No pun intended. The Game Boy Advance
Game Boy Advance game
has
up to
some.
the Super Nintendo
The
screen.
Game Boy Advance does have some things that are more advanced than the Super Nintendo, but overall.
It's technically a 32-bit console.
I still think like Metroid Zero Mission. I think Super Metroid looks far superior to
Far superior.
on the
love
same
Zero
size
Mission,
screen. But
Super Metroid, Super Metroid destroys it visually.
But in any of those, if you blew them up at a theater, like on an IMAX screen, they're gonna look absolutely
Now,
terrible.
I would say, on the flip side of that,
awesome.
again, I don't know if you've blown it up. On the flip side of that, I think Mario Kart Super Circuit looks better than Super Mario Kart visually.
I haven't played either in a long time, but I feel like Super Circuit was more washed out, but that might have just been the Game Boy SP's backlight, to see them see it running. I guess I'd be interested.
I think the thing is,
I played it on my GameCube Hybrid, so
I'm over here. I'm over here like
you fucker.
Robert plays
Yeah,
everything
I played it on
zoomed
the
in.
TV. It's
Robert-
a hybrid. I played it on the TV from my GameCube. I made it a hybrid.
I'm the guy that just played the Sega CD on a 70-inch,
hate
4K display.
Robert plays
It
everything
is what it
zoomed
is.
in. That's the funny thing. Like everything
Yeah,
you
it
do
is.
is
Yeah,
is zoomed in.
To me, that's not zoomed in.
That's
I'm not
zoomed
like,
in.
Yeah, it's blow it out.
Zooming in is the same as getting closer to
Well-
the screen. It's the same thing.
No,
That
hold on. No, bring up that Digital Foundry again. They go in. They literally only show one section of the. It's like if I was showing the
Yeah.
screenshot game. If I was
Again,
doing the
it's
screenshot
just
game.
it's replicating this.
I know, but that's zooming in. That's not. This is me just
Bro,
blowing it up. You could say.
you're not sitting here saying playing a fucking console from the 90s on a giant fucking TV is not blowing. Yes, it's the same thing as
It's
zooming.
blowing
You're
up.
zooming.
Yeah.
You're zooming.
Bro, but zooming is zooming.
You're,
Blowing it up,
again,
blowing it
Robert
up.
is him retro have very weird argument. They always
I
get
know,
hung up
man.
on
I know,
specific
it's so
terms.
frustrating.
They're okay. If they could find a way to
God.
zoom in the image
my
and
God.
still have it be the full image, then that would be the most advanced technology to ever exist. They're just zooming into a spot because that's the only way they can do that.
When you're zooming,
Get
you're
close.
making a smaller thing bigger. That's what you're doing when you fucking playing fucking a 300p fucking Super Nintendo game on a fucking 80-inch screen. You're making a smaller thing bigger. You are zooming the image. What in the fuck?
And the pixel that
Oh,
was
it is.
the pixel that was the size of a pencil is now the size of your thumb.
It's huge. Hey.
That's
There's
I
still-
mean
there's
that's
still
literally
a big
yeah.
Oh no, because you're not focusing on one section. See, when you zoom, it's okay. Take some tape and cover
Robert,
the
do me a
left side
favor.
of your fucking screen, and then you zoomed in.
Go like
And then you
this.
count-
Go like this to your TV, and then tell me how much of the screen you can see. Can you see the whole thing, or can you only see the one in your viewpoint, in like your peripheral?
Yeah.
That's all it is. But anyway,
Oh my!
I didn't want to.
God.
I'm glad we changed the subject because I'm starting to wonder if I'm like listening to Terrell talk about Sony and handhelds and stuff. I'm like, until you play a PS5 game, I don't even want to hear your opinion on it. To be
I
honest,
didn't play. I started so playing
Oh.
Saturday. Fuck you!
that's why I was just trying
Wait,
to
what?
transition.
Don't do that.
Anything
I said I started Stellar Blade Saturday.
On what?
On the PS5. What do you mean on what?
You know what would have been hilarious if I had sent him the empty box.
Oh, what?
And he went like 10 minutes just assuming that it actually was the PS5. I could have fucking put something else in that box.
That'd be insane.
After all the work you made me go through just to open that bitch, I was just like,
Well, that's T. That's how I pack.
oh, no. Listen, it's great because that means everything you ship will never be damaged for the most part. And if it is, that means somebody's a piece of shit that works for the fucking.
I don't
shipping
think you
company.
could. You would have had to jump on it.
Hey, is that true?
You said what?
Breaking news: Donkey Kong Land 2.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Game
Probably
Boy
true.
NSO. Now
But-
play that shit on your TV screen and tell me that shit don't look blow the fuck. We done with that. We done.
I do want to point out something from last week because I had to be coy. The tiebreakers questions I asked were PS5 related, and I was like, man, why did I ask these questions? That was like so dumb of me to ask these questions. And I was like, I tried to play it off as those were just something completely separate from this game. And I was like, that was stupid. I should have just kept it. Because initially I wasn't sure what the game was going to be. I was like, I just wanted to find out how interested you guys were in a PS5. That was the first thing I asked you like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I remember.
And T said 5.5 out of 10. Terrell said 5. Sandstorm said 3.5 or 4. And then
3.5.
Retro said...
Okay, here's my thing. I thought Sandstorm had a PS5.
Retro said 3 out of 10. So that was the first
3
tiebreaker.
out of 10.
So T was most interested, and then I asked like a silent auction if you had seen one a used in good condition at a silent auction. That was the tiebreaker 2 question.
But
I was like, I
here's
should have
my-
made them unrelated to the PS5. It was so stupid. I was just doing this
But
on the
here's
fly.
Here's my question. I thought Sandstorm had a PS5.
No.
How's he playing Black Myth?
On
then?
PC, he's got like a
PC.
4080 PC.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. All right. Because I
Yeah.
was like, that's what made me second guess that you were sending a PS5. Because I was like,
There were other
I'm pretty sure
devices
Sans-
that
I'm
exist
pretty sure-
outside of consoles.
Yeah, and then Robert's like, "What'd you do with your PS5?" I wasn't prepared, so I just quickly tried
Oh
to.
yeah, well that's how I was.
And then T's been
I
asking
assume-
me about if I'm selling it, and I was like, and I wasn't sure honestly what I wanted to do with it. I was thinking do just a giveaway, and then I was like, you know what? I said clocked it. I sent him a message. I said, dude, if you'll pay see what the shipping charge is going to be and pay a portion of it. I said it's yours, and he's like, no, I can't accept it. Can't accept it. He's like, give it to one of the boys. So I was like, all right, well, who do I give it to? It's like, all right, well, I got to come up with some kind of game. And I
Wait,
think
I don't
it'd be.
understand. Why couldn't he accept it again? Or what? Did
He
just
just
not?
doesn't want. He didn't want to accept a free something of that.
Don't you give me gifts?
I said, dude, it probably costs $200. It might not even been worth it. He didn't even want to get
Some
the
British
quote
thing, I guess.
to get to the UK because Retro Death's free PS4 ended up costing him like $100 because he had to pay the arrival fees and stuff.
But
Tax.
he paid. Wait, you free PS4? You got to.
That guy who sent him a PS4 years ago.
Oh, so he never bought a PS4?
you
I
don't.
didn't even know that.
Yeah, somebody
I forgot
had an
about
extra one.
that.
They bought a Slim or something, and they sent them, or they bought a new one, Pro, and sent them their old one, so they hadn't touched it, or they got it from work. Something they only had used it a few times. Well, they sent it to him. Well, in France, he had to pay some freaking import fees. He paid like over $100 that he, at the time he didn't really have, but he had to.
Yeah.
So I was like, clocked it, figure it out. He's like, no, I won't accept it. So I was like, well, how do I decide? But my first question was, see who's most interested. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, well, I got to come up with something fun. So then I tried to come up with the questions.
Wait, what was
after.
All the
my,
numbers all the
You were a
numbers pretty
5.5
close.
out of 10 was you said your
You had the
interest level.
highest.
So I said, well,
Yeah,
that'll be the tie
highest
break if there's
5.5.
a tie. There was the only tie was between Retro and Terrell. So I used that as the tie break for them.
Because I know I'm never going to be able to fly through the sky so high in Horizon Forbidden West unless I have that version or a PC.
Dude, I
Whoa.
should have showed you when you
That's
were.
what put it over a 5 for me. Was the Horizon.
I thought you would have said like a 7, at
Why?
least.
Oh, in terms of
Astro,
interest?
PlayStation VR2 maybe.
And then
Rise.
Astro.
Well, he didn't
Yeah,
know. I
Astro.
just said like just the
He was
console in
just saying, he was
general.
just asking it as a question.
And interest in
Yeah.
in PS5 as a platform. I asked this like 3 weeks ago before I even said I was getting the
Mhm.
Pro.
Oh,
And,
There's
okay,
literally 3 games that I would care to play on PS5.
What messed me up is that I was in a.
2 points each is a 6 out of 10.
The reason why mine was a 5 was just because I
My
was
numbering
in the process.
system. Well, yours, motherfucker.
Yeah, but it's like, why are you being this picky about how he's numbered? Listen, and my issue was that I'm in the middle of building a PC, so it was like, I mean,
I-
yeah, I wouldn't mind playing it quicker, but it wasn't like I'm gonna die with it. But
Yeah, I knew
started
no one
still,
was like
man.
super enthusiastic about it, but
I
I was like,
forgot how little of our group had a PS5. I didn't know it was just like
two
it's
of us.
just what, yeah, just Robert.
I
and-
wish would have gave it to some
Robert
little
and
kid
Juice.
somewhere who actually cared to want that shit. Some little kid.
Yeah.
None of these motherfuckers even wanted the bits. So.
Actually, I was hoping Retro, even though he said 3 out of 10, he was thinking more from a financial and time at his with everything he's doing right now. I guarantee you he would play that every day because, well,
He would
maybe
absolutely play every day.
he's on Overwatch. Well, now he uses it mostly for him and his girl. They can just talk, they're just hanging out basically. But when they live together, they might not need to do that. So
Yeah,
I
or
mean,
they won't
I
need
would
to do
assume
that.
they still play games,
But-
couch co-op. I don't know if he could play.
I
couch
think
co-op
even though he
before.
gave it the lowest score, I think he would have used it the most. I think moving forward because he still plays plenty of PS4 games all the time. So, and I think it's
True.
like I said in your live stream, Terrell. I know people don't want to. I know it's not, the best selling point of a new console, but honestly, it's such a amazing PS4. Built into the PS5. That's like if you still play PS4 games regularly, it's definitely
I mean,
worth
I got
considering.
some PS4 games that need to be played anyway, and they're
You gotta
down.
play it for the second son.
I had that downloaded for years when I had
For years.
PlayStation Plus, and I never even tried it.
2015 in this bit.
It was 2014. 2014.
Back in my day, we used to play the infamous.
I know when it
games.
came out. I'm just trying to give it a little bit of a
10 years ago.
little bit of space.
That was like the
Back in my
first
day.
PS4
Time
like
flies.
main PS4 game after launch.
I think that was February 2014.
Mhm.
You know how you can tell a real Sony fan from a fake one? Who remembers Heavenly Sword?
Not most Sony fans don't know what that game is.
I played the
I
demo.
guarantee you, most of these ponies do not
That's
know.
like my favorite joke to play on Sony fans.
I
like,
think it.
"You
I
ain't
don't
no
think it was
PlayStation
that
fan."
great though. Really, was it? It was it was an okay game, but I think
It was mediocre, is what it was.
I wasn't in, but a lot of people love that game. I didn't care as much. I
Here's
thought it
my
was
thing.
okay.
The problem is, I think people thought there was potential and they did nothing.
I think
with
it.
Right.
I think it. The idea of it was exciting, but once the demo came out, that's when I was like, all right, I don't need to play this.
I think there
Who
could
is
have been
that?
something. There could have been.
That was
something
Ninja
to
Is that
do.
Theory.
FromSoft? Oh,
Yeah, that was
Ninja
Ninja
Theory.
Theory.
FromSoft.
Speaking of FromSoft, even though I hope Sony doesn't have the funds to buy that company that
Oh
owns
yeah,
them.
that.
But-
them trying to buy From Software.
Yeah, I don't-
Before we get
I
into
don't-
that,
By the whole company that's over, like the
Yeah, they-
owner.
yeah,
of-
that would suck.
It's like where Microsoft bought Bethesda. They didn't buy Bethesda. They bought
ZeniMax.
Call of Duty.
ZeniMax.
No,
ZeniMax. They bought ZeniMax. They bought the
ZeniMax.
whole shebang. So
Uh-huh.
this is their version of that basically.
I hope that
They're
don't
buying the
happen.
whole
But before we get into that, Nintendo put out a partnership thing. After their financial report, and then they confirmed the Switch 2, and From Software and obviously Bandai was two of the ones on their list of studios they want to.
Bandai's always on there though.
They want to improve
Bandai
their
always on
partnership and be more of a partnership. And I'm like, From
I
Software,
am interested.
Bandai Namco, that's Elden Ring confirmed on Switch 2 at launch. Like,
Yeah.
Either that or
I mean-
Dark Souls.
You would think, but like I think they're just always gonna have those guys up there. Like,
Well,
no matter
From
what.
Software is a little bit different.
but for
because
them, From
they
Software,
never had
there's no
From.
From.
They never had From Software.
They had that one company ported a From Software game, but
Yeah.
Yeah, Dark Souls Remastered.
the Dark
right?
Souls
And then,
Remastered was ported from like Nixxes or one of those companies.
So I could see. I hate to say that I would probably see Dark Souls before we see Elden Ring, which would kind of bum me out. But I think
No,
that's
I
what,
think
we already
we
have
see
Dark
Elden
Souls.
Ring.
Dark Souls Remastered.
no, but no, wait,
You
no,
talking
that's
about
right. It's
three?
Demon Souls and Dark Souls. That's what I'm messing up.
Demon
Wait,
Souls
there's
is a
more than one?
PlayStation exclusive, so
So it's Dark.
Yeah.
Dark Souls is the one that it has multiple games. Though.
yeah,
We
but
got the
two
first
was
one.
like
Dark
a
Souls
two was
1, 2,
two was
3.
made from like a secondary team, and everyone says it's like just such a departure.
What
And then
about 3?
maybe it was 3, 2 or 3 was like done by
No,
somebody
2
else.
is the one that's like
The
the
dark-
black sheep
Yeah.
of the franchise, where it's apparently still really good, but like for different reasons. Like it's not quite like
It's just a different
Right.
experience. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
It's the Batman
reason why
Arkham Origins of the trilogy.
Oh, don't.
So I think-
I don't know if it's that extreme though.
no, Arkham Origins. No,
I don't know why. I think it's a good game. I don't know.
Arkham Origins is okay. I
It's
think
No,
just-
because it's not that drastic of a difference of a development team. I don't think.
That's like what happens. So that they did that was the same thing with BioShock 2. A different team came in, and tried to just basically copy the formula and didn't put.
And nobody liked it.
And it was just like, okay, it's fine, but it's like
It's fine.
then the actual
Until they
team
hated
comes
it.
out and they make BioShock Infinite. It's like, oh, okay, this is
Oh,
these are the
Yeah, but
guys.
people, I've heard people don't like Infinite though. I've heard
It's-
people don't
really?
like
I thought people loved it.
Infinite
They
has
don't like. They
one of the
don't-
best.
Let me rephrase it. They don't like it. They don't think it's a good Bioshock game.
It
That's
definitely
the
was a
issue.
departure, but it has one of the
difference,
best
yeah.
AI companions as far as like
Yeah, it's
actually caring
fantastic.
about your AI companion instead of
Also,
hating them.
people hate the ending of that story, from what I've been told.
It's fine.
People,
I liked it.
whoa, don't go look up the
I
essays.
haven't played it. One day I'll play the whole trilogy. One day.
I bought BioShock 2. I played the first hour. I was like, man, this is just BioShock 1 again. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't a. But that was a. That's like.
How you gonna? How you gonna like
It was.
top that? You
The
can't
problem
really-
is that if it's very iconic, it's
Yeah,
hard
yeah.
to like.
That's what
it'd be
happens
hard
when
to
you
match
give a different studio to make a sequel to a successful game, and they're just gonna do basically copy paste what was done before.
Metroid Other M.
That game has its merits. Fuck you, dude.
It's got a lot of its. What's the opposite of merit?
Yeah, it's got some merits.
It's got some
my-
anti-merits.
Oh,
Boy
Boy
Scout
Scout.
troop. Boy
I knew it
Scout
was
troop
gonna
got a
have
lot
it.
of merits too.
I just
you know
want
what
to
I
jump.
mean?
I just want to jump up here and not accidentally come towards the screen and fall because there's depth that you can't
I
see.
knew-
This
I knew
platform
this was gonna
is
happen.
only on this plane, and there's a front, middle, and back plane. And you can't tell which one you're on, and it's just like
We got the genius idea. Let's just make the game. Let's make a game for the Wii remote only. What the fuck?
that was stupid.
Well, what was the point of that?
I could have lived
I
with
really
that
like
if
the
it was
game.
just if the 2D sections actually were 2D and you didn't have this forward and backward
Right.
on the screen bullshit. It's like, why
Right.
did you do this? Little Big Planet did that
or
shit
if there
too.
wasn't a nunchuck in your fucking box with your Wii,
Yeah.
then I would understand that. But the
Yeah.
fucking thing came with a Wii remote
I agree
and
with that.
nunchuck.
The
Especially
worst-
when you use the pointer in the game, but then you can't
Why did
move.
move.
Sonic did it?
You
You
can't
can't
move.
move. It's the dumbest shit ever. It was dumb.
It was visually though, the sections where
It was
you're
impressive.
Great looking game. Yeah,
yeah,
it was a
the
good looking
3D
game.
sections were some of the best looking Wii.
It had the worst thing about it is it's a weird ass control scheme and not using the parts of the fucking controller
Yeah,
that came in the
Terrell-
box.
Or not being able to
man.
use your powers
No,
until what's his
no.
name?
Listen, I like
General
I like,
dipshit.
so, you gotta understand.
Oh, you
other
can
than-
use it now, Samus. And all.
Here's my thing.
And the feminists got real mad about that shit.
I think other
The feminists at the time was not happy about that shit at all.
listen, Robert. Let me explain something to you. Other M, is a little bit of nostalgia for me because it was the first Metroid game I ever played and
Played?
beat.
Oh.
But I also recognize the game is like I actually made a skit when I was younger. There's a YouTube skit somewhere on my channel making fun of that game, and I like that game. That Adam shit was dumb.
I wonder if
That
you went
I
back.
distinctly remember the fucking what's the G4 show? X-Play.
Attack?
I remember
Oh,
the
yeah.
X-Play review of that, and Morgan Webb was 98 hot. She was not having it with having to have Adam tell you when you can use her shit.
What's this
Like,
man
having a
talking about?
man tell
Even back then.
watch that review. This shit is hilarious.
I mean, they had
Uh,
it's no less crazy. Well, it is crazy because she's just. I gotta wait till my superior officer tells me I can use my suit to not die from lava like that. It is dumb, but it's a different. They tried something different than just losing your gear and then refining it. But yeah,
It just came off.
you
more
go in this
offensive
area, you
than
die from heat, and then it's like, and then you get to story point where he's like, "Yeah, go ahead and use your Varia suit authorized." I'm like, she just
No,
died
at
from
one point
that.
she does ignore. She does ignore him at one point.
Bitch, if I'm wearing this shit, it should be authorized, bitch.
Yeah, well, it was
I'm
just
wearing it.
lazy writing, basically. Like,
It's yeah.
you know,
That's funny.
Retro probably
Funny thing
likes
is
it
that I
though.
can see that happening in like an anime of some kind. Like that seems right in line with like like anime storytelling to me.
It'd be one thing if it's like,
Actually,
yeah, don't
does
engage the
Retro like
enemy.
game? I don't know.
Yeah, he likes it. It's probably because he doesn't. He hates that you lose your gear every time in a Metroid game and you have to reacquire it.
See, I hate it. Retro will
Is it any
always be
difference when you can't use your goddamn gear when you have it?
Retro will always be the guy who has decent opinions for all the wrong reasons. All the wrong reasons. I hate it. Ever since that Xenoblade debate we had, I fucking hate it. I hate
Which
it. I was
one?
like,
The one where he said
the one
Xenoblade
with-
Chronicles
it was-
X was completely different combat system than 2's?
No, well, it was that, and no, it was the one with me, you, him, and Shadow Fox, right?
Yeah, that's when he said
Yeah,
that.
yeah, and I was just, and I think at the time he hadn't even beaten the game, and I was so pissed. I was like, bruh, how you
That
supposed to be
sounds
on my,
familiar.
yeah, how you gonna be on my team and you can't even
Sorry.
properly
Neither,
talk
he
about
hadn't
it?
finished. He hadn't finished either game.
Yeah, he
yeah.
hadn't beaten the game,
But-
but he wanted to be part of the debate. And Juice, and I felt like Juice knew. I felt like at one point I had like a look, and I was just like, bruh, this is not fair. I feel like I'm fighting for my life, and I'm trying to stop Retro from saying stupid shit in the back.
We haven't had a debate.
Well, you
in a
know
while,
that
man.
one part of the plot that I haven't gotten to yet, but I heard is amazing, and I'm just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with
I
this?
will acknowledge there's definitely some intricate little details to the combat system in 2 that aren't in 1 or in an X, but to say like just completely different from like
I
a
wouldn't say- I
general
wouldn't say
statement, it's still
I
the
wouldn't say-
same. It's still the same general concept, but now instead of using the
See,
D-pad,
see,
you're using your
once again,
face buttons. It's
It's
just
another example of Retro being like, they're different. Cool.
You could say it's
They're
more
completely
intuitive.
different. Fuck, that's not what I want you
say
to
it's more
say.
intuitive to use the face
Almost
buttons
there.
than to use the
Almost there.
D-pad
It's
to
like-
select the
it's-
art. But it's
it's
still
like,
the same
listen,
thing. You're still selecting
here-
art.
It's like this. Here's the goalpost. Hit the goalpost. Bitch.
See,
Bitch. Hit the goalpost, please.
It's right in front of you.
I got close. Fuck you. I hate it. It was in the same
Having,
direction as the goalpost. Fuck you, man. I hate
a
it,
Super
bro.
Mario Sunshine debate, man. They should have an official.
No,
Super Mario
no,
No, no, no.
debate.
no.
No,
Is that why you put that as a thumbnail? You was a troll.
He didn't have a topic.
One of the best fights in the game. PD fucking Piranha. It's beautiful. It was so much fun. It's so fun and so intricately made. It's beautiful.
I will say I had fun running around, spraying the ground and diving and sliding really fast
Yeah.
and doing that.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
was fun.
the just movement and running around with the flood was fun, but it's like when you boil it down to, it really hit me when I watched T's live stream years ago. Like it's probably like 4 or 5 years ago, and you're pulling the
I know what you're
tentacles,
talking about.
pulling the damn
Yeah.
tentacles off on the first one was on like the ship with like the what do you call it, like a grid system.
The fucking harbor.
Yeah.
Whatchamacallit,
And I'm
harbor.
like, oh man, yeah, that's right. That was kind of stupid. And then like, I don't know, 20 minutes later, you're in another level doing the same thing, and I'm like, oh wow.
Same.
And then like, I don't know how many times total, but I was like, yeah, that's just not fun. Like,
Or even just chasing Mario. What's his name?
or do you
Shadow
run or
Mario.
chase them?
Shadow Mario around, chasing him around 7 fucking times. You got to do that, and you have to do it because he's the one that like there's certain, unlike Mario 64, you can't just randomly fucking get a star. You can't randomly do stars. You have to do them in order, and you have to you have to. What's the one that's fucking a pain in the ass? Is it the secret? The secret stars, they're fine. But no, the thing that you have to do is you have to because that's the main thing is you have to get to the chasing, because he opens shit. I can't remember exactly what it is.
The Shadow
So you
Mario.
gotta chase Shadow Mario. So that means you have to do every fucking thing up to Shadow Mario, or you can't get you can't do the thing that you trigger for the next sequence in the game. So there's no, I can get this star and that star, and I don't like that star too much, so I don't have to deal with that one. No, you have to fucking get them all, and it's just like a pain in the ass. And I
Overall,
talk
when
about
I
it
played
anymore.
it on GameCube back 2002, I still remember I was friends with this girl. We were hanging out all the time, and she came over. She's like, "Wow, that water looks incredible. Like this game is beautiful." And I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, it looks great." And I can't remember if I had my HD TV back then, probably right around that time. And I had the component cables, and I thought it was a great looking game. I still have fond memories of that
Mhm.
harbor level, just the visuals of it, the water and the how far you could see in the distance and stuff. And But the ones that stand out to me, the negatives, are the dam when they take flood away and you have these platforms that are constantly revolving. And there's been similar levels, like even Astrobot has levels like that. But the hit detection on whether you would be able to walk over the ledge or sometimes he would slide.
Yeah, or the precision and like Mario 64. That shit is so fucking precise.
Yeah, this was very loose, fast.
Slowly inch forward, he tiptoes, he gets a little faster. The more you push the analog stick, and then he gets to a full run. That shit don't happen on Sunshine. So when you get
he's very
levels
twitchy.
that are like, super precision, you got to do shit, and you run to the edge, and you expect to jump, and your ass just fall off the edge, and that shit happens to me so much. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, I would run over. They got this giant rectangle, and I'm like, all right, I'm running over the ledge. Perfect. Next, it's revolving. I run over. It felt like the exact same. All of a sudden, he's slipping, and you couldn't recover. Once you were sliding, you were just off the edge and dead because you didn't have flood and you didn't have.
One fucking level where I can't stand those ugly ass Piantas. You got one level where you have to be thrown and shit by the Piantas. You remember that?
Yeah.
I think it's in like the village or whatever, and you have to be thrown across, and they always throw your ass off that bitch, and it's just a pain in the ass.
There was some cool shit though. Let's focus on
no.
The
really cool
the mirrors. That shit blew my mind.
That blew my mind when I first saw that shit. I was like, this shit is beautiful.
The
water in the game is fucking gorgeous. Some of the best water effects you'll see in any video game, even to this day, I think.
But gameplay on that bitch.
I didn't mind.
I like the name.
The swimming is ass.
I like the shines.
Yep. I like Mario.
Yeah, Yoshi's in it. The music's great.
I like the fact that you can get a fucking
Yoshi can't swim though.
The music. You didn't say the music is great.
I love the music in that game. I don't know about every track, but
you don't like
the music in that game. No.
I love the music.
Damn.
I love some of the
I
music.
hate Mario Sunshine's music.
Really?
Remember that list I made in the chat that one day? That was one of the things I
Really?
couldn't stand. The worst music.
But you said the worst, yeah, but sometimes the worst of Mario is still
Yo,
the
still
best.
the
even
best?
like the music I would,
best?
like the secret level shit. Like I should like that, but I don't like it because it reminds me of how many times I fall on that shit. Blah, 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 blah. I hate that shit. I hate it.
I like some of the music. I like when you get Yoshi, it adds a little extra beat.
Bro.
Here's the thing that's really cool about the game, and a lot of people don't really talk about it.
It
is
is
the fact that no, the connectedness of it. Like you can go to every level and you can see other levels.
Yeah.
That is the coolest shit ever. Like then, obviously now, but it felt like an open world almost in some ways because you could see like the harbor from the what's the shit called the
Is it
park,
Delfino
Pina
or-
Park or whatever. Yeah,
Oh.
Delfino. Is it Delfino Heart? No, it's Delfino Island, so it wouldn't be Delfino
You
Heart.
talking about yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? You could
forget.
see different
I know what you mean,
worlds
man.
from different spots, from other worlds, which I thought was really cool.
I know it's the
even-
one Mario game that I haven't. Well, actually, yeah, one 3D Mario game that I haven't finished yet, and it's just there's a
But-
reason, man.
anything to do with like spraying
What's the
to run
reason?
and find a coin. I couldn't stand that
It's-
shit.
If I loved it that much, I know I would have finished it by now.
Like spraying the wall
If I liked
to
it,
go get another coin. And here's the thing: I went into this game with disappointment because I am a Nintendo fan, folks. So
Oof.
before this game came out, I was reading every little piece of this
I
and
hate
that.
that damn
Alright,
seagull thing.
Miyamoto was talking about, oh, Mario's going to mature in this game, and I saw other real people in the game. In the beta version of the game, there was real people on the island, other visitors, other human beings, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, and so they were going to do a whole different thing, and because they had to rush it, they weren't able to do all that stuff.
Is this
So-
just like a montage of Sunshine Juice?
It's just a
Like
4K.
I even hate the sound when you get when you get the star and shit. Even that annoys me.
I liked running
I
around in the
understand
main
it.
area. I liked it.
I hate the fact when you start the game, it's all dark and shit.
It looks gorgeous.
After you get a few stars,
I hated that thing though. That
oh, I
damn.
hate that shit.
I
That
think
shit.
doesn't everybody hate that level?
Yeah, that shit. Is
Because you
horrible.
didn't have flood, and you touch it, and the sand would disappear, and it was like, God, it was annoying.
I don't like this level. Pissed me off where they keep hitting you up the catacombs, whatever. they're
Oh,
called.
There's the there's
No,
some
my
cool
favorite.
stuff like this giant
Petey
Wiggler.
was cool the first time.
No,
Then
I'm
you
waiting
oh,
for I'm waiting for
oh.
I'm waiting for y'all to do a Mario tier list. That's what I'm waiting on.
A Mario
just-
tier
I have to
list?
start it.
a
That would
Mario
be
game-
a
Mario game
very
tier list.
heated debate. That'd be a
I
very
know.
heated debate. And then
Because
we can,
Collecta has like
Juice,
3D World as like the lowest. I was like, what?
We should do a whole we should do
Juice, you should do
a
that.
stream.
The
Just
first
do that.
stream, the first stream of 2025 is the Mario
3D
tier list.
3D Mario. No, we got to do 3D Mario because that's
we
Yeah.
gotta do
complicated,
a bracket style, like literally, like you know what I mean?
3D Mario and 2D Mario. If
Bracket
you want to.
style. So you verse each game till which one's the best one. Instead of just like S tier, A tier. Like we're talking about like a bracket style. Like you have
Blue coins, man.
Food
That's all I
coins
gotta
are
say.
so. That's when I said I'm not
Oh,
getting 120 in this 120
Nope.
stars.
Or that fucking. What was that little?
That's 64.
What's the game? The
Yeah.
game. What's that game? It's one of the secret stuff. It's not the Yoshi one, because that's the fucking River of Death, where you got to fucking use your backpack to get the red coins.
Mm.
That's some
when you're on the,
bullshit too. And if you
bicycle.
die, you got to do that whole fucking process all over
Was
again.
that corner
You got to
always
bring
mixed with
Yoshi
red
on
meat?
that boat. I hate that shit, bro. I literally hate it.
Yeah, that's a legit level right there. A legit star.
Oh yeah, that's real.
So you were supposed to. There was supposed to be a hint to tell you to break the
It's called
wall.
Blast Away the Wall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They tell you in the yeah.
This is actually a real.
But honestly, I got that shit by mistake. I didn't.
Yeah, it was
even-
like
I
a
wasn't even
4K
try-
mod or something.
No, this is like
Oh, it's
they
more
made
than 4K. This is a
box art.
remade.
Like this is like the box arts of the CGI.
Yeah,
font,
this is
like,
just the
rendered.
ray traced PC mod.
Yeah, but no, but it's gotta be a little bit more. Look at Mario.
Mario's model and everything.
Yeah, I
is
mean
different.
it's cleaned up, but
Not cleaned up. It's literally like
Cleaned
you
up,
know
it's a
that
complete different model.
You know the CGI render of in Super Mario 64.
yeah, I mean they had to
Yeah.
they had to redo all the textures and stuff for ray tracing. I'm guessing, but yeah, I wasn't really
No, but
paying
I gotta,
attention.
you
Yeah,
gotta
his
give you
model's
shit.
different,
That looks
obviously.
Awesome. It looks awesome. The Mario.
That's
model.
all
It
Nintendo
looks
needs
like-
to do. They don't have to do anything.
I don't like this. This looks like ass though. Hey,
I mean, I don't-
making
I like
this
the
game
Mario
this
model
clean
that
looks
looks-
don't look right. It look weird to me.
I do like the Mario model that
I
looks
like,
like
I
this.
like my N64 games dirty, like they supposed
Well,
to.
yeah,
be.
you can't clean up. There's a reason that shit dirty because they're trying to hide shit. Like these angular ass.
This was
you
a
know.
pain. This took me so many damn tries. Like,
Didn't the isn't that people's complaint with
It
the
took you a lot
3D
of tries?
stars?
What?
to get
What?
the whatever
That
you
it
need to
like
get the
cleaned up
star in
certain
this one.
areas and it doesn't look as good because of it.
No, I think
Oh,
that you're thinking of
you just hit that
I-
shortcut.
wasn't it
That's all you gotta do.
online about, like Ocarina of
No,
Time
I think there's-
and-
you
No,
gotta-
there we go.
Was there
Here we
one
go.
you got to collect? I don't know if it's chasing the penguin. I always fell off.
No, that's where you cheat that penguin and hit the shortcut.
Mm. I fell off at this end so many freaking times. It's not even funny. Like
How much
got to the
anger
very
is-
end and then I slipped off and didn't get the star. I was like, God damn it!
That sucks ass.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about that. Well, I don't know. Like, I don't think I would even like.
The frame rate.
Play,
is
well, I
weird.
mean, I guess I would play a remake. Like, I mean, I don't know, because I'm not like if it's like a favorite
Yeah, we
game.
played. Haven't we played remakes before? We all played.
No,
remakes, I think.
I don't really play a lot. Of,
Resident
like, I've
Evil
not,
and shit?
even like well, yeah.
No, Robert's the purist. Come on now.
I would rather play just a
Robert's
graphically
serious. He'll
enhanced.
he's
version
gonna go
of
buy
the
the original N64 with the original N64 cart, and then he's gonna
No, but I
get
did play. I did. I played Super Mario, like Halo. Like I just play. Yeah, I play Halo. You can play the Master Chief Collection, and then
Yeah, I want
I-
to see what
I-
that shit looks like. 'cause this-
Fucking
I went
Wario.
on the.
Was that from
Oh,
the
is this-
DS?
Is it
yeah,
DS
it's the
version?
DS. Yeah, it's the DS remake.
This still blows. This
How
level
does that
still brings
count?
back.
How does
This still
that
brings
count?
back memories, man. Seeing this level for the first time in the
See, I hated
magazine.
the DS version. Yeah,
You hate it? Hate?
I hated the DS version because the shit looked like a PlayStation 1 game.
Yeah, I don't like seeing Wario in this.
I don't like
Compare-
looking Wario did
compare
not
it to a
work in
fucking-
his
I
game.
still remember seeing the shots of this level in the damn like 12-page spread that one of the game magazines had. It was like they got the exclusive.
This is back when we used Wario.
Oh, he just. I wonder if you can
actually.
actually do that in Mario 64 because I used to go the slow way and fall off that damn ledge all the time.
Get
I'm sure you
swallowed by
can. The way people
get
speed
swallowed
up.
by that damn quicksand.
Like
This
like
guy's
the devil-
obviously speedrunning.
like the devil
too.
himself
I
This
know.
guy knows
grabbed you from
Yeah.
the depths of hell.
Look at this
The fuck?
motherfucker.
Yeah.
I could do this.
Oh.
I don't.
He's
I
a
don't
programmer.
ever. I
Y'all-
don't
y'all
really
gotta
get
give
into
this man
the.
credit.
After a
speed-
couple of years of Mario 64, I was doing all kinds of weird shit.
Oh, we got the shoulder charge. Let's get it.
I never got into like to
Goombas don't look
doing
right, though.
the
Hey, Goombas
shortcuts.
don't look-
It like got burnt. That's suntan. That's a suntan. And they got some.
Yeah.
They got an influx of melanin in
I mean,
them.
the Goombas are basically what do you call it? A swap.
Palette.
Is it a palette swap? Is that what it's called?
Uh,
They're basically mushrooms. That's what they are.
yeah, it's palette swap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe second guess my
God.
English. What? Damn. What?
The textures look clean though. I mean, they're clean.
I like them blocks though.
If it was
Yeah.
Mario, I
But
would
keep-
definitely.
But
wanna
keep
play
that
this.
Mario, dog. Fuck that Mario.
Look at that. He's just like fuck it, long jumping.
Oh yeah, fucking watching Mario. I mean, watching old school speedrunners of old games is absurd sometimes.
Oh yeah.
You know that.
It's
You
weird
know
to me that Mario
you-
64 would be like one of the most popular speedrunning games.
Because Mario is always
would've never
popular,
thought.
no matter
I
what
would've never thought it,
happens.
though.
That's why Nintendo hates that these fuckers keep emulating their games.
It's like GoldenEye, like all these old N64 games are like big
Because people
speedrun
grew up
games.
playing them, and those are the generation who wants to speedrun.
Yeah, but that wasn't the most popular. You think? You
Yeah,
think
because
if you-
the PS1 outsold the
Those games are
N64 by
trash.
3-1. 3-1. Nobody. Why isn't the nostalgia the same? I'm confused.
Because Nintendo had better games.
And now that I made this smaller on my other screen instead of full screen, it looks so much sharper.
Oh,
I wonder why that is.
Yeah.
I wonder why that is.
What are we
There
doing?
you go.
Yeah,
I look really good in my little box, but when I click on it and blow myself up, it doesn't look as good.
Hmm.
It don't look,
Look, I look really blurry and shit. Like, what
I'm a
the
little
fuck?
blurry. Yeah, it looks sharper when it's a smaller screen.
Maybe I should. Maybe size does matter. I don't know. I don't know. It's a theory.
Don't believe that. Them girls be lying. Size matters, man.
Yeah.
Don't let them tell you that lie.
Ladies. Ew, chill out. Ew, I can't, bro.
So how far in Stellar Blade did you get, Terrell?
I did the
When
first
he get
boss.
past the start menu, he was like looking at that woman. Holy shit, yo.
The first,
No,
I mean,
no,
the first.
Take any pictures yet?
no, I did the first boss. I don't know. I don't think I finished the chapter, or I don't know if it's chapters or not. I don't think I finished it because I looked at the clock and went, damn, I gotta go to sleep. So
You talking about like after the opening sequence where she wakes up and they go to a different.
yeah, when you're exploring the first area,
Yeah.
and it's almost like a parking garage you get
Yep.
to where you can save, and then it's that boss right at the top that you fight.
There's
And I thought
bosses.
I thought it was gonna.
Each level
Okay.
has multiple bosses. The final boss, you know, when the like quote unquote chapters. It's not really a chapter, but you leave that area to go to like. The hub.
Okay, all right, that's just fine. Then I beat that boss, and then I went down to where you had to get to the little transport thing you're supposed to get on, and I saved right before I got on it. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, it's I don't know what to compare it to as far as the level structure, but you know, it doesn't like you have a little, you beat the boss. There's like a little sequence for each boss, but then you just like continue on the level.
I think that's what's throwing me off. I'm so used to like the Bayonetta style where you beat like
Yeah,
the
it's not
final
like
boss
that.
of the level, and it's like, oh, here's your score, and then all right, next to the next section. This one's like, oh, so the level continues. What are these enemies? Wait, hold on, man. I'm on lower health. I just fought this hard ass boss. Can I get it? Nah. Yeah. What are you laughing at, T?
President Grant got me thinking about Thwomps.
Mm.
And he was talking about the rolling ones in 64. We haven't seen those since that game. Basically, we haven't seen rolling Thwomps. And I started getting for some reason the sound they make got in my head like heavy.
Yeah.
That does stand. I mean, that is for me. That's etched in my memory forever. But I will say, like, there are some abilities that it's like Wonderful 101 where there's like skills in the skill menu that are like crucial to the game. that you have to.
Well, they make you learn specific.
I think
ones
they
and-
make you do like the first one, but
No, they make you do 2.
do you? There's one where you
Yeah.
get the blue attack, you got to press forward and
That was the second one.
yeah,
The
there's
first one was the. Was
but
it the
there's
combo?
like way you parry, and then you can attack afterwards. Those are all skills to unlock. So early on you're
Yeah.
very bare bones with. It's kind of like Devil May Cry.
You know, I will say the one thing I don't like from what I've played so far, I don't like her. They give you that dodge where you can hit the circle and go back, and that's supposed to be like a back dodge. I don't like the way that shit's like handled because I'm thinking it's supposed to be like a jump back. That's what my mind.
It
is
is if you actually time it and get the dodge, but if you don't, and it's just like it's like a simple step side,
It's-
step back.
yeah, it's
But
like
if
a
you
side
actually get
step
the
and-
dodge, if you actually time it, then she does an obvious like
It's like an after image animation that kicks in. Like it's
it'll turn
almost
like slightly reddish screen, I think,
Yeah.
and then you'll actually
yeah.
jump. But
I'm not a fan of that, but as far as like the pairing and the combos and even the like, I guess it's the dodge for grab attacks because I notice if I miss it, the blue flash. If
yeah,
you miss it, you're getting grabbed most of the time. Those are all.
you probably
fine.
did what
No-
I did. You probably instantly press it as soon as you see the blue, but you got to wait till the
till your character flashes blue.
till the actual sound, like there's like a clear
like a
obvious
ching.
ching. Yeah. And I was
Yeah.
just like us with our parries and smash. You and I were the worst at just doing it way too soon. Once you get used to it, but I wanted to say
Yeah, that
you-
first boss
you-
took me a couple tries because I
you
wasn't.
miss, and then you do the parry, and then you miss like the counter, and then when the boss hits you, the sound your character goes.
so yeah, I would just advise, like, the game gets, it gets way more fun, the combat, once you start getting some skills unlocked. You can change up your moveset, and I just want to comment on the photo mode. I wish that was there from day one because I would have had 218
You want to comment
screenshots.
on it? Or you want to take some pictures? Because I feel like you want to
Yeah.
take some more pictures.
It's just, it's just I'm not like some photographer or
Man,
anything.
please.
But I've always
Please.
prided myself on taking good photos in games, and this is one of the best like photo modes just the options they give you, like it's legit. Like being able to move light sources and change the colors, it's like really cool. I wish every game did that. I'd love to do that. In Breath of the Wild, I'd love to do that.
Whoa!
What?
Whoa!
Hey man, what the hell was that?
Capcom,
Hey,
Marvelous
hey,
Capcom.
Hey,
It takes a bit. It's Marvel's
Why do you
Capcom
have
cover.
that?
What,
Is that-
what are you talking about?
That's
is the game actually in there?
that's
this is the
Rogue.
Rogue.
That's Rogue. Yeah, it's the
Whoa,
cover,
What
dude.
the fuck is going-
That's Rhodes'
is it-
preferred design.
This is
I
the
like- I like
cover
that
on the
design,
other
bro.
side of the manual.
It's not. That's not.
What are you
No,
talking about?
that's not the legit cover. Eat a dick, bro. Is the game in there?
not in this one. I
Oh,
have it.
what?
It's
I bet
not
you that's
there.
the display copy. That's the
You have
motherfucker.
like,
that sits,
you have
that's
like
the thing that
tissues
sits on the
in
It's on
shelf.
my display over there. Yeah, that's why.
And, people come over
So,
like, "Hey, man,
I sent some.
can we play some Marvel?"
Thanks to PlayStation's, you can send screenshots to your friends on Xbox and PlayStation. You can do that.
Oh, really?
oh,
Unlike
I see what
unlike Nintendo, this is
I knew he was gonna do it.
yeah, of course. For
Also-
obvious reasons, I like this photo, but I also just really like.
Also,
Obvious reasons.
I like using the what do you call it? It's not macro, where you can focus on the character and blurs out the background. It's got a specific name. It's an
See, now,
option.
Juice knows I'm a man of culture, but as a result, what that means also is that I'm gonna get an influx of photos.
So this
of me
is a
being
photo
man
I
of culture.
took.
See,
And
see.
so I did there's 3 lights. There's a purple, there's a blue, and there's a white light. And then, obviously move the camera.
Where's the lights? I ain't looking at no lights.
To me, that
Oh.
I mean, yeah, it's a sexy pose, but I mean, I just think it's a really good. I think it's a good composition too. Like, I think it's a good photo, but
Juice is that type of dude who.
But
who
also,
says
like-
he watches porn for the photography, for the cinematics.
like this is also a photo I took. Like, I mean,
It's like, I like the camera shot. Yeah, that's what you're looking at. The fucking camera.
I mean, you say that, but I mean, I use photo mode. Any game that has a photo mode, I'm using it. I don't care. Like, I wish Breath of the Wild had something like this. Like, I already have 1,000 screenshots. I probably had $2,000 if there was like a really cool option like that. So that's a cool feature they just added on the 20th, like what, 5 days ago. I was like, yeah, I've already rinsed the game. Now I got the DLC for Nier, and then I found out, you know, I had to get to a certain point to access it, and then you have to find a currency basically in the game to purchase to get the costumes that you paid for. But it actually makes you, you know, play through the levels. So I guess on one hand, they're probably thinking of people who just are playing the game now to give them something to do, and some people who've already beaten it. Well, what good is a costume if you've already beaten the game a couple times? So let's give you something to do to actually track down. And they give you like photo hints, which I didn't realize during the live stream. In the option, or in the like you hit the start button and you can see like your missions and stuff. It has hints of where they're located. So if you know you look at the photo, it's almost like Breath of the Wild's memories. It's like, oh yeah, I think I know where that's at, and you go there, and then you get it's called a tier, and then you go to the shop and you buy the stuff. So it's cool, but it would have been a lot cooler to have that stuff, you know, before I beat the game 3 times. But I like that they're adding stuff free, and that's the first paid stuff. I mean, it's totally optional, but a lot of everything else has been free updates and additions. So I feel like it's worth supporting them just for how they've supported the game with content for free afterwards. So, and you know, I will say that Saturday when I played it, that's probably the most fun I've had playing it, maybe the entire time out of my other playthroughs. I was just having a blast just going through it again and getting into the combat and stuff. So it was kind of nice getting back into it. But I still haven't started Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
It's gonna be game of the year, man.
I just think gonna have to just not gonna start it next year.
Come on, man.
It's not time. I was gonna try to get through Elden Ring DLC. I put some time into it, but I was like, man, there's this game. It's huge. There's so much to do, and
Yeah.
I really don't want to rush.
Game of the year. Game of the year.
Game of the year, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna kill it.
And I barely touched. Nice. I barely touched Prince of Persia in weeks, and I'm just like, I'm behind on TV shows I want to watch, and I'm just like, damn. So I gotta find time for something. I always find time for my football team, though. That's for sure.
Who's
10 and 1? 10
and 1. Second time ever in history. 1934 the last time. So
1934. Good Lord.
I got one better, the Retro Death one. I legit still sounds like retro to me.
It does sound like it. Oh.
That man.
What's this one?
Oh my God.
What the hell? Yo, did y'all just
That's
put music?
Starfield.
Did y'all
That's
just use movie music? What is wrong with y'all?
Oh, it's the better Breath of Zelda game on Twitch. Yes.
What the
Play
hell?
What was that one?
What the heck?
Hey, we're getting close to the Game of the Year podcast.
Yeah, that's
Oh my
Couple
God.
months.
For the game of the year, man.
Oh.
What the fuck?
Oh.
All right.
Oh, we're done.
Fuck, I haven't looked at the chat in forever.
Oh, my chest hurts. We're done.
Anyway, it's 9 o'clock already. Damn.
Oh, my chest.
Did we talk about the last thing we were supposed to talk about?
Kind
What
of.
was it?
Not really.
The Sony thing.
What was
about
it?
The Sony
You know,
buying
we
From
talked
Software.
briefly about it, but we didn't. I mean, what else is
What
there to
was it?
say? So I hope they don't do it.
Don't do it, because they're gonna
Oh,
do what
yeah.
they did to Bloodborne and not
It's-
take advantage of it.
It's like a lot of it's a lot. Apparently, it's what it's like anime. It's gaming studio.
Oh, it is. Don't.
That's
oh
what.
man,
Yeah.
man,
They
I
already
got a
have
video.
Crunchyroll and shit, right? So
Oh, I got a
they're trying to
video.
corner. They're trying to corner the market on that.
They're
on
also
the-
buying another anime company they're trying to pick up lately. I'm about to get pissed, bro.
At what point is that not a monopoly? If you're having
Oh
the
no,
whole
in America it kind of is already. Like I'm gonna be real with you. Crunchyroll is the lead anime legal streaming platform, and Sony owns that. They own the major dubbing company in the U.S. They're trying to own a manga company currently, and they own a couple of studios in Japan that already make anime. So like it's a shit show. I hate it.
Filthy
I hate
company.
it.
And
I
then
got all
did
these
you see they're putting out another Spider-Man spin-off movie that comes out December 10th? Craven or
Craven?
whatever.
Yeah, Craven the Hunter.
Why?
Hey,
Those
Cody,
are always the worst rated freaking movies. Everyone they put
Because
out.
they-
Did you
They
just
have
learn
to
about
maintain
this?
the
news?
license. They
I
maintain
saw the trailer
license.
yesterday during the game. It's the first
They
time
had
I
to
heard
maintain
it.
the Spider-Man
It was
license.
supposed to already be out. They had to delay it. That shit.
Yeah.
is-
They do
Well,
it to
Madam
maintain the
Web
license.
came out this year. What are they doing?
Madam Web is
Venom
such
came-
That's
Venom-
Disney.
Venom
That's
3,
Disney.
I mean, came and went.
Disney. What's Disney?
Sony.
Madam Web is Sony, my friend.
Oh wait, my bad. I'm
Because
thinking
they
of
don't have the
Agatha.
Spider-Man life. They can't just put
I'm
out
thinking of-
Spider-Man content without Marvel's.
They can't put out they can't put out Peter Parker specifics.
They
so
they're still trying to do that Sinister Six shit.
Mhm.
No one cares, bro. If you don't
No
got
one
Spider-Man
cares.
in that shit, nobody cares.
Yeah, what's the point of the Sinister Six at that
And so they try to trick y'all with the fucking Madam Web, and, and your boy kind of he looks Spider-Man like for like
Yep.
2 minutes.
Madam
and-
Web
not even
actually-
2 minutes. That's how long he was in that suit, by the way, in the trailer. That was it.
Did
There
Madam
was no
Web
more of that.
actually have Spider-Man abilities or not? I don't know anything about.
No.
She did.
Oh no!
She
At the very end, do they all get in costumes? Like it's legit. Like the last 30 seconds. I'm
And
not
it's
even,
very short.
not even kidding you.
And it's very
Literally,
terrible.
It's like a goodbye kind of thing. Like din it din, and then they're all in the suits, even though it's on the posters and stuff.
Oh yeah. They
See,
know what they were doing.
That's
Here's
why I
a
don't want them
spoiler.
to have anything to do with the Zelda movie, but they're freaking producing.
Dude, honestly, Madam Web has still to this day this year so far is one of the worst writing ever. Like one of the scenarios that they do for writing, just it made me question everything about. I'm like, yo, that was so stupid. That just like how it's like I know how Juice like.
That's
you-
how I
you
felt
hate,
about
like,
A Quiet Place's opening.
how characters make stupid decisions. This
Mhm.
one, I mean, like legitimately,
Even Robert
I mean,
noticed them.
no sense. I mean, like
No,
legitimately.
this is
No,
a
it's-
early 90s
Elektra.
superhero movie put out in 2023 or 2020. Was it this year? 2024, I guess.
Remember when
And
Elektra came out and
just
we
as bad as you would think. Oh, Elektra.
with that?
That movie was outdated when that shit came out.
What were they on, like a teeter totter? They're doing all this fake like stiff.
No. That was Daredevil.
Oh, Daredevil, yeah, but you
That was
know.
the fight scene when in Daredevil. Oh, you mean
Daredevil
yeah, with
was
Elektra.
okay. Elektra was just.
Oh,
What I just don't.
it was drab. It was dry and.
I just don't.
At
know.
least Daredevil at least had some excitement, and Elektra didn't. It made no sense. It made no sense.
Daredevil went off the
And-
rails with the Bullseye villain. Like, that's like, wow, this is dumb.
But I did love her coming back and.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
don't do that.
I liked
Elektra.
I just watched that last week actually.
Oh,
I
really?
liked Elektra in the
Deadpool-
Daredevil show on Netflix.
Deadpool 3 is.
Yeah, she was good in that.
something.
Her character was awesome in that. Yeah. Season 2 anyway. Season 3.
Yeah, season
Yeah.
3 it was already starting. That's why I don't care about the Disney Plus bringing it back, because season 3 they already
Yeah.
kind of were out of good. They kind of already went down a path where I thought it was getting kind of stupid.
Yeah, but that was a different group of producers.
Mhm.
This is Marvel now, son.
Hmm
That,
You can
that,
actually-
that only means
you can do
so
stuff.
much.
You don't have to like reference things and not actually say
Yeah,
them
but
because
this
you don't
this
own the
is-
rights to it.
But here's the problem: this is modern Marvel. I don't know. how I feel
Yeah,
about
that's
Marvel.
true.
They did. I mean, they hadn't all been duds, but
A lot of them have
What,
been.
what hasn't been duds that Marvel has done post Endgame?
Maybe.
Oh, come on, Guardians 3.
no, I'm talking about the
Guardians?
shows.
Guardians
No,
3.
no,
I'll give you
Guardians
that.
I was thinking about the
Guardians
shows.
are fine. We fuck with the Guardians. Wait, which
about
one?
the shows? You talking about the shows?
I mean, some have
Yeah,
been
shows
okay, and some have been others have been
Um,
terrible.
WandaVision was dope.
Yeah. Loki. was
I
dope,
thought the first season of Loki
Loki
had
was dope.
promise.
First season of Loki was dope, and
Which one?
I think
I haven't- honestly,
Miss
I haven't
Marvel
seen
is
a
actually
lot
a
of
really
the
good
shows.
show. It's a
Moon
really
Knight?
good show.
But
Moon
what
Knight
about the
kissed my
Marvels
ass.
though? What about the
Moon Knight
Marvels?
Yeah,
kissed
I didn't-
my
I didn't think-
entire ass.
I always think of Moon Knight as
has
a Star Wars.
Moon Knight has a strong first episode. I think the first.
It does have an awesome first episode.
What's
I
that
was like,
new
oh, this
show
movie
with
dope.
Jude Law now?
That
There's
shit
Jude
falls off
Law
the
is going to
cliff.
be in a Star Wars series or something.
A movie, isn't it?
No, it's on Disney. I think it's
Oh,
Disney
it's a
Plus.
series. Yeah, you're right.
I'm like, is this Marvel or Star? I
haven't
couldn't
picked up
tell
shows, so I don't know.
until the end. I was like, is this like a continuation of his character from Captain Marvel, or is this something else? Oh, it's Star Wars.
It's confusing.
I knew it was Disney
Oh, they
Plus.
got a new trilogy coming again. Aren't you guys
Yeah,
excited?
I believe it when I see it, man.
I think
don't
they already
believe any of it.
I believe it, but I don't know if I'm gonna like it.
There's just been so many.
What happened to Ray's new movie?
That's what I'm saying. I don't believe this. I don't believe.
They
I
got
don't
her
believe any
dirty, bro.
Star Wars movie until it's something out, because they've been, here's a new
Kathleen
Star Wars
Kennedy
movie, and
is
it's
bullshitting, bro.
this one's gonna be. We're gonna make this and this. What are you talking about?
Well-
You didn't even write a script. You didn't do anything.
Remember when the Game of Thrones guys were gonna do a trilogy?
Yeah, they
I don't
ruined
believe
Game of
anything you
Thrones
say.
just because they were so excited to go make the Star Wars trilogy, and that never
And that
happened.
never happened. They got paid though. Even if the
Then
movie
they
don't
went.
come out, you
Then they
still
were
get
going to do
paid.
another thing, and
Oh,
that
yeah?
didn't happen.
Oh yeah, you get paid.
That's hilarious.
They developed another thing for Netflix that didn't come to fruition. Last I heard.
There's plenty of projects that have been canceled and whatever don't happen, and everybody still get paid. You get contract, so you got.
And then Arcane, it's like the first season was a huge success. Like the second season took them a couple years. Apparently, they put a lot of money into it, and they're like, yeah, this storyline's done after this. Maybe we'll do another separate storyline in the same universe. And I'm like, I'm 6 episodes in. I'm like, how are they gonna wrap up in 3 episodes what the direction they're heading? This could have been 2-3 seasons with the scope of what they're trying to do. And I was like, 3 episodes is done. Like, I'm almost not looking forward to watching it, because I'm like, how are they gonna wrap all this up in 3? There's so many characters from the first season that barely gotten anything in the second season, and I've been looking forward to it. And I'm like, man, there's only 3 episodes and it's over. But it's phenomenal. The 6 episodes I've watched are just absolutely. I'm like I'd give this the nod ahead of Fallout if I had to vote for like adaptation this year. It's.
You saying you would put it ahead of
I give
Fallout?
Arcane season 2 is so far 6 episodes out of 9.
Oh.
It's freaking amazing, but it's like there should be more. Like, why are you guys?
Yeah, but the only problem is like they're
trying to fight churn,
They
bro.
nominate it before the thing's even out and people can watch it, and it's even complete.
Yes.
Like, when does it end, Arcane?
It's already all 9 episodes are out now, but
Oh,
they
okay,
weren't
okay,
at the
okay.
deadline for the nominees.
Gotcha. So then, yeah, that makes no sense. Then that's weird.
But it's like, man, they could have. I mean, I don't want them to drag it out and milk it out, but there's room. They could have taken this storyline to at least another season, I think. But sometimes the best things are the ones they cut off and don't try to drag out and milk forever. Like Supernatural, the first 3 seasons were amazing. Season 4 and 5 are good. And they're like, let's go another 9 seasons, and just went 14 seasons. I stopped after like season 8 or 9. I was like, I'm done. Like, I can't watch no more. Like, there's only so much you can do. And same thing with Smallville. They dragged that out to like 10, 11 seasons. It's like, I think
Yeah.
3 to 5 is like the sweet spot, I think. But anyway, let's get out of here.
You mean 15 seasons of what's that? It's on the same
What?
network. The paranormal show with the 2 brothers.
Supernatural.
No, that's
Supernatural.
That's what I was
I
talking
never
about.
remember the goddamn name.
That's what I was just talking about with Supernatural. That was.
That is what he was talking about.
You're saying
That's a-
you're saying that show got too long in the tooth,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
which I mean, that premise, how many seasons can you get out of that shit?
I mean, based on the supernatural element, they could It started off with
yeah.
just like a real life myths and stuff. They were kind of tackling the first couple seasons, and then it just became now the devil's the main antagonist, and now the devil's not even a threat. It's this other thing, this other being. It's just like, come on, guys, like it's just stupid at this point.
Well, the problem is,
But they're
the
making money.
writing. People will keep watching.
It was
shit.
their number 1 show.
way past. I mean, look at The Walking Dead, bro. Like,
Oh yeah.
That shit's so far past its prime. They do spin-offs and all kinds of shit.
But the first couple seasons, man, I was all in. So.
Oh, first 2-3 seasons, fucking amazing.
All right, well, get out of here. Thanks, guys, for tuning in, and we should be back next week. But we got Thanksgiving on Thursday.
Sunshine.
Let's end by, what are you guys thankful for? What's something you're thankful for a week before Thanksgiving? It's like 3 days away.
You asked.
Terrell, go first. Terrell, let's go first.
I'm not dead yet.
That is something to be thankful for.
I'm not dead yet. I'm gonna just say that. I'm not dead.
You
yet.
got power, you got internet, you know.
Now.
Yeah.
You would ask me a few weeks. I mean, what was it, like a month or two ago?
Survive the storm.
I would have been ready to break in somebody else's house for some smooth Discord usage. Motherfuckers like,
I'm gonna be cheesy. I'll just say it's good to have you guys the last 10 years. You know, I'm thankful to have you guys to talk video games and movies with, because you know it sucks. And you know, and the real
I can't believe it.
IRL, you know, I don't know anybody with like good gaming taste or any, you know, outside of you guys.
You don't know a lot of people online with good gaming taste.
Brother-in-law plays Call of Duty. My nephew plays Call of Duty. You know, like the movies my sister likes are just the worst freaking. She just basically she loves every movie. You gotta watch this movie. It's like I watched it. It's not
so on an entertainment level, you just can't stand your fucking family.
There's not a lot of like-minded people in your immediate vicinity.
And now he's stuck
literally around the world to find people you can stand for more than 10 minutes.
Listen, and of all the people he found fucking Retro, man. I'm so sorry.
You always got, you know, your family. You always got your you know, your stories of growing up and stuff. But when it comes to like entertainment things to talk about, it's pretty dry.
Hey,
at my
I
family
have
events.
7 siblings, and we don't like nowhere near the same shit. It's like, so maybe one sister. I have to like tell her these things. I have to like bring them to her attention. She doesn't go out and seek them on her own. So she gets it from me. She at least gets the quality stuff because I tell her, and she does seem to like the same stuff. But yeah, as far as like having her own mind and like having this is my taste on this and it's really good stuff. No, I don't have that. And that again, 7 siblings.
And listening to you recently, you're like, I sat down with my kids to watch, you know, some.
That's the best. That's what I was gonna say. That is my thing that I'm thankful for. That my kids can appreciate the stuff I grew up with, and we have this thing together that we share every week.
It's, you know, my dad would like, he'd always watch the movies he liked, the old westerns and stuff. He wouldn't give put a lot of effort into trying to watch stuff I like the Jean-Claude Van Damme and Schwarzenegger movies. I mean, my mom would go see them with me, but and clocked it. He said he's watching Arcane season 1 with his 14 or 15-year-old. They're on like halfway through or whatever, and I'm like, you know, at some point she's probably not going to want to watch stuff with her dad, but my dad would have never watched like a new something like that with me, like just complete out of his wheelhouse.
12, yeah.
I'm like, man, I had to find that stuff on my own. I had to, you know, fall in love with full-length anime movies when I was like 15 and 16. They'd come on Saturday mornings on whatever network and stuff, and I didn't have any like-minded people in my family, which sucks, but you know, that's why I'm thankful for you guys. So, and the people that keep tuning in every week. Yeah. You know, as long as we get...
we've been doing this shit for 10 years.
If we ever get down to like 10 views, like even after the live stream for like in a week, I'd be like, all right, it's probably time to just call it.
It's time to move on.
The juice is no longer loose. It's hard. It's hard and callous.
It's frozen.
Come on over to my tea talk kind.
Oh, you wouldn't.
They already there anyway. Like if I do
also, I'm thankful
that's here shows up in my streams anyway. So.
I can carry over from here too. Actually,
thankful for this little critter here, and her sister.
Do they get along?
Yeah, they do now. But okay. My family was over yesterday watching football and got together for some food and stuff. And that cat, she's just walking around, getting pets from everybody, laying on the back of the couch, just getting pets from everybody. And my other cat is just down in the basement petrified the whole time. It sucks, but it
There's
is what it is.
people in here. I hate it.
But yeah, other than that, like Robert always used to say, have a good night and don't die.
Yeah, don't die. That's always been the wildest thing.
And play Opuna on Wii.
What the fuck? No!
Whoa.
Put it back! Ain't no
The
fucking
Wii
way,
is
bro.
better than you remember, my friends.
Oh my god.
Look that
Also,
one up.
check out waiting for Robert to release that single he fucking teased on Instagram. I was waiting on, bro.
Oh, you heard? Did you like it?
Oh, I heard the snippet. You think
Hey.
you working on another album? Is that what you doing, huh?
Yeah, man. It ain't gonna be for a while, but
Hey.
it ain't gonna be for a while. But it's
Oh,
coming good.
Man, don't do that.
Well, let's go ahead and make the announcement. All these fellas you see right here are going to be in my music video coming soon. So stay tuned for
Yeah.
that.
I love
Yeah,
Retro
I'm working on
Desk.
that right now.
Retro Desk got the headbanging hair for that thumbnail. Or
I
for
love
that,
the-
I mean, he was going to
It's
do
like,
that
yeah, he
anyway.
won.
That's part of his culture. I already knew that was about to happen.
Oh, yeah, he's going to do that. And when I saw that clip, I was like, that
My
looks like
question is,
that looks like security footage. I gotta make that a security camera.
Mhm.
That looks
I was
good. Chief.
I was like, how awkward was it for him to headbang to a rap record? I don't know if Retro.
He seemed pretty
understands.
comfortable.
Oh, okay, all right, we're good.
Yeah,
Yeah, look,
seemed-
that
Some
look-
people,
well, the classical hip hop you can headbang to,
Yeah.
T knows that some people when they start headbanging, you're like, I don't think you know what a beat is.
Are you dancing to the beat or the words? That's what I
But
was-
yeah, it was like you just like, eh.
All right, with that, we'll get out of here. We'll see you guys. Have a happy Thanksgiving. I
Happy
got to work 2
Thanksgiving.
more days. I had all
Eat your
last week
turkey.
off. I got to work 3 days this
I
week.
will.
and-
Yeah, I worked
Eat your
2.5
turkey
days
and
myself.
behave yourselves, and don't spend too much money.
Goodbye world.
Remember,
that's
Christmas is
grim.
around the corner. You got other things to spend
What?
money for.
That means you're gonna die. Goodbye world.
Wow,
Goodbye,
that is